Well, I mean, it's probably not hilarious to you guys, but it's funny to me. I was getting the audio ready for the panel from yesterday to put on for our audio listeners. And for the first 5 seconds, there's just no sound. It's just Ron staring at the camera. And it happens every show that Ron hosts, and it's pretty hilarious. Just dead air for the first 5 seconds every show.
We're starting off with host jabs.
L host, you know?
Wait, does he? Wait. Does he have to put a different setting on, and he just doesn't realize it?
No, I think I'm trolling a little bit because it's just the software. You don't know that you go live right away because when you end it, it doesn't end right away. But I think when you start it, it starts right away. It's a little, I don't know, confusing. So I'm not actually putting it on Ron. I was just, host battles. So just gotta
host battles.
stake my claim on top,
Guys are ridiculous. The politics.
I missed Sunday. How was it? I haven't even watched it or nothing.
Sunday was fun. Dub called me some words, and then I had to explain to Dub why it can't come from him, and he understood, and that was it.
Damn.
Is Dub muted, or no one can hear me?
I think he's.
I'm on the phone. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
He's doing his interview live.
Yeah. So Dub was calling me some words, and being from where me and Dub from, I thought he would have understood why I would take offense to where he was going with it, and he didn't understand, and then we explained it, and it was cool.
Do we have a timestamp for this occurrence?
It's as soon as I get on the show, so I got on a little late per Dell usual. So, yeah, I actually thought that's funny. I know you didn't watch the show because you always come back to the chat with stuff. So when you didn't come back to the chat about that, I knew you didn't watch the show.
Yeah, so I was in the live for probably the first 10 or so minutes just to see what was going on, and then I bounced. But yeah, I gotta go back and watch that.
Take a peek at. I think I told them I'll beat them up.
Hey yo.
Yeah, that's how crazy I got.
Though, you know what's funny is before you joined the call, I was telling Euro and Dub about Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
When you sunned me really quick on the strip, and I was like, okay.
No, I didn't sun you. I thought you remember we was about to have a fight in the casino.
That's the one that I was thinking about.
That was a different one.
You punched him in the shoulder, and Dell was like, "Yeah, we're not doing this."
No, I didn't punch him, but we were walking on the strip, and I'm already faded. Dell doesn't like being around people who are very intoxicated, understandably so. And
you don't understand. It's like, come on now.
I was just first time seeing Dell, I'm stoked. I'm just sizing him up jokingly on the strip, and then I kind of bump into him a little bit, and he's like, nah, we're not doing this. It's like, okay.
I was talking. Remember the time with the guy and Melissa?
Yeah. That one was.
That's the one I thought.
Yeah, that one was funny. That I was very, very.
Got nasty.
Yeah, that one was like, oh.
Okay. That one was serious. That was serious.
That one was serious. That was way more serious than me giving you the bump. But
I'm like, what, bro? What are you talking about, dog? Don't get slapped.
So what was Dell saying? I'm sorry about that.
Saying about what? You talking shit last episode or what?
I didn't even talk shit. I think Dell kind of blew that out of proportion. But
you just told us that when you talk shit, you go overboard and you don't even notice it.
I didn't realize that pennies out of a bunch was something overboard. I didn't think. I say that all the time.
Okay, that's the phrase. All right.
That's not what was the overboard. That when Shaq said the thing to you about the man and the, I didn't think that was overboard. But it was overboard based on that standard. It's not overboard if JD is saying to me, I'll laugh. But if you're critiquing stuff when someone say to you that same, you can't dish out it the exact same way.
But I didn't dish it out because in my mind those are two different insults. Two
not
different
really.
Ones. I thought so.
Explain.
Because
what did Shaq say to you? What did Shaq say to you?
He said a person's dick was in my mouth.
No, he
Okay,
didn't. That's not what he said.
okay.
That's not what he
Okay,
said.
yo.
Or somebody,
No, that's
or somebody,
no,
or sort of,
no,
or somebody was nutting all over my face.
Yo!
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Hold on, Duff. I have to put you in timeout really quick, bruh. Hey, yo! What are we doing today?
That's not what he said either.
Okay.
What a start for Jaylen Spectrum.
Malik, look at what Malik said. Okay.
Dub is uncontrollable.
All right,
This is
all right.
crazy.
I'm just speaking what happened, bro.
Okay, we're gonna stop speaking about what potentially happened. I need to retweet the tweet for the live show because today is a dope show. It's the second charity show that we've ran. Dell is off camera right now because he's on his way to a meeting, so he's in the car. So unfortunately, we don't get to see his face, but we do get to hear his takes.
For a second.
So today, what we're doing in all super chats are going to go to Jaylen Spectrum. This is the foundation that we talked about 2 episodes ago at the end of the episode. Dell started this for his son who has autism. He did 1 bike ride already last Saturday.
60
Correct.
miles.
And then you're doing another one this Saturday.
Saturday, yep. So, well, the foundation is just for kids on the spectrum, kids with special needs, to be honest. So my first thing is teaming up with this Bike to the Beach, raising money and stuff for autism. Then my first headliner will be around Halloween and then Thanksgiving, whereas I'll be going around schools with kids on the spectrum, mental health kids, and I'll be either the one giving them the candy or making them plates based on the stuff that kids with autism eat. Because if you guys don't know anybody with it, they're very picky and choosy. So I'll be going around the school. You know how people do turkey drives. I'll be giving out turkeys and also like a dish of plates, about 3 to 5 or maybe more high schools around those times in New York and Delaware, maybe even in Rhode Island. I'll be doing that. So with the donation, it's all going to things of that nature. And then going into like next summer, I'll be hosting swimming classes because the number 1 cause of death is kids on the spectrum is by swimming. And the last will be also police academy classes, whereas, you know, the cops are stopping people. They don't know how to deal or handle a kid on the spectrum or special needs. So the police is pulling the kid over. They don't know if he's on the spectrum or not, if he's stimming, if he's flaring up with the hands. So I'll be sponsoring classes for that. And many other things as it goes by. And the website or wherever you guys show, you'll be very updated on the journey of pushing this forward.
That's so fire. That
yeah,
police academy
amazing.
thing is crucial, man.
Yeah,
amazing.
for sure. Yeah, for sure. I didn't know it was that high, but when I jumped into this lane and seeing all this stuff, and it's pretty dope.
So, like I said, all super chats are going to be donated to the foundation today from this episode. And if you want to donate directly, there's a link. If you're in the YouTube chat live, for live viewers, there's a link pinned at the top. What I'll do for people viewing this on YouTube and listening on Spotify after the fact, the link's going to be in the description. And as well in the comments, I'll pin to the top of the comments the link to donate to the foundation as well. Del, I have a question for those that just don't have a whole lot of education on autism. What's like some of the biggest misconceptions of people who have autism or like just autism in general?
Well, to be honest, it differentiates. Like, I don't even know the biggest misconception because that's the thing about the spectrum. It could, like, you've talked to Jaylen, Dub seen Jaylen, you would think that, not for nothing, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. He might have lost us.
Yeah, he probably just lagged out when he just said that.
That's all good. We'll let him finish when he comes back.
Well, yeah, to the chat and to the listeners, man. Obviously, you know, like anytime we have episodes like this, man, it's always dope, you know, for the community of Players Choice to come together and stuff like that. I think the last time that we did the 7-hour, you know, madness show. It was amazing turnout. So just want to say, we appreciate you guys, and definitely encourage you guys to, submit some super chats or whatever, so we can, all support, Dell's cause, for the greater fight against autism and all that stuff. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, JD. You heard me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, yeah. So, just like you spoke to Jaylen, you guys seen Jaylen and Dove has met Jaylen. The kids on the spectrum. It's the thing about it's a wide different spectrum. It's some kids that are nonverbal that can't even speak, that has more physical tools and can do more things that Jaylen can do physical. So I would say misconception of it is like people. I don't really fully know it. I'm still learning day by day, because when you hear the word autism, you just automatically think everyone is the same. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not the case. So I think that could be the biggest misconception, of just believing that everyone in the spectrum deals with the same thing.
Right. Awesome, man. Well, I think you're doing a dope thing with the foundation. It sounds like you got some stuff in the pipeline, and some cool stuff coming up that you're still working on as well. That's going to be amazing for years to come. This is dope. You're a dope human. It's really cool that you're doing that stuff, man.
Much respect for you, Dove. Honestly, bro, it's really a great cause that you're fighting for, bro. So I love seeing that. Every time I see your IG story, I know I messaged you the other day, bro. It's just it brings a smile on my face every time I see that, bro. So I'm really happy for you, bro.
Love you. I love you too.
Love you too. I'll beat you up too.
Okay.
Wait. Quick question though. Where are you right now? You're home?
Yeah, I'm home.
I should have called after. Maybe just stop by your house after before I go. I might pull up on Dub, guys. I'll let you know how that goes. I got 10 to 15 minutes for a debate though.
All right.
Can't leave a show without a Dell debate.
Dell, do you want to start with the homework that you sent us?
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's start with Shaq's homework.
Okay. All right.
Before I depart.
So this is an article from 4 years ago, but it still applies to today. And the article's from The Jump Ball, and the headline is "How the NBA is Getting Assists Wrong." And it's essentially talking about how it's very subjective in the eyes of the bookkeeper, of how to calculate, or not calculate, but how to determine what is an assist and what is not. And the definition is a little vague, and it's open to interpretation of giving the ball to somebody for them to score. And something that I think they have collectively kind of come to an understanding of is, if they catch the ball, 2 dribbles, score, that's an assist. So because you sent this to us, Del, I want to know, like, what is your gripe with the way that they're currently counting assists?
I feel they count in some assists that are based on that one person that's getting the ball. They're just talent. You see, like, if you read the full article, there's an article in there. Oh, it's another article I read that Rondo had passed the ball. It might be this article, to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis caught the ball with 14 seconds left, but jab, one dribble, shot the ball with 10 seconds left, and they still gave Rondo that assist. Like, that doesn't mean, sorry, Rondo, that's not your assist. I love you, but that's Anthony Davis going and getting a bucket, being a great one-on-one player or whatever he had to do in them 4 seconds to go and get a bucket. So if you play one-on-one dribble, most times if you play one-on-one dribble nowadays, you either play 2 or 3 dribbles, or you play with a shot clock under 5 seconds, quick to make a move and go. That's a one-on-one move. So I think you can't count someone individual, go get a bucket because someone passing the ball as an assist. So it's just, that's how you rack them up now, and that's how it's been getting racked up.
For how long?
Well, I don't know how long that article. I just know for sure the 90s and early 2000s, it wasn't as easy as it is now. That I actually tried to find that, but I didn't have time.
Yeah,
Mars, historian.
You used to have to hit somebody in stride. Like, people couldn't even dribble. Right. So it's like, if it's a fast break or whatever, and you pass somebody that's running the lane, it's catch, 1-2, layup. That's an assist. But if it's like catch, dribble, 1-2 layup, that's not an assist. The same way
Madden
with
gave
like
one dribble.
the same way with like somebody coming off of like curling off of a screen or whatever. You at the top of the key, you pass it to him. If he catches and shoots, assist. If he catches one dribble pull up, that's not an assist.
Right.
It used to be like that anyway.
Would you still count that as an assist though, in your eyes? Because I think that if he dribbles one time and pulls up, that's an assist.
That's debatable. You know what I mean? I think it all comes down to, you know, what rules do you implement in order to like elevate the game? Because of course, you know, more stats, like you elevate the value of a player, and then, you know, there's marketing that comes behind this, right? Okay, this player is so good. Instead of averaging, you know, 7 assists, he's now averaging 11. That's the difference between a double-double or a triple-double and not, you know what I'm saying? And so you can like boost the player's value. You know what I mean? You can, and then in turn, like market that player as somebody who's better. You know, they become all-stars and all this other stuff or whatever. But I think in terms of like the rule to be clear, like now it's left up for interpretation of each individual statistician, right? That's sitting on the scores table, because the Lakers guy, he can be like, you know what? I don't like the visiting team's guy or whatever. You know, personal bias plays into that. He could just be like, yo, I'm not counting that assist because it's up to my interpretation. As opposed to LeBron, I'm a Laker statistician. I fuck with LeBron, you know what I mean? And so now I'm giving him all the assist type of shit, you know what I mean? The thing is, though, unless, of course, I mean, it's supposed to be an unbiased guy or like a bipartisan guy who's just, you know, placed there by the league that is not a Lakers employee or like, you know, an employee of any franchise. The thing about the rule, though, is I think there is no interpretation. It's just when it comes to if you catch the ball and then you score without dribbling, that's the assist. But if you catch the ball and you dribble, you know what I mean, that's not an assist. Like I don't think there's any like error right
Even
there.
if
like,
it's just one time?
It's either or.
I think it depends. Like if you make like a basketball move, well, I mean technically it is a basketball move, but you know what I mean. Like if you over here, you grab the ball and you create a shot for yourself and then get the bucket. I don't think that like Fred VanVleet, that happened to him a lot of times last year. He had like 8 or 9 assists. A lot of times he would pass the ball to Pascal, like Scotty Barnes. They'll make a basketball move and go get a bucket real quick, and then he gets credited for assists. I think if a guy's just sitting here grabbing the ball, dribbling one time, pull up like a Klay Thompson, I think that guy definitely deserved the assist.
But what I'm saying is like that should be in writing. That should be in the rule book. And FT Vari, you're incorrect. That actually did happen numerous times, especially in the 2000, like early 2000s.
Yeah, leaving it up to interpretation and just humans and their biases and whether they like or hate a player, you're always going to have some skewed stats, especially if they're keeping stats. It's crazy.
I think everything, though, is going to be skewed because everything in the stats are controlled by human beings. So, I mean, even
human
though it's
error
all...
it's an imperfect game, of course, you know? Like, it's always going to be that way. I'm just saying, like, you know, there can be a rule made where you, like, the margin of error, you can kind of close that window a little bit, but whatever.
I agree with you on closing the window. Mars, hello. I forgot you were here.
Hi.
You haven't said anything this whole time. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. I miss you.
Oh, I miss you too, I guess.
Do you have anything to say?
I mean, I've said it many times. I hate most stats on the box score, including assists. I think they're tracked inconsistently. I don't think they prove much, but I try just to not use them. So I just avoid them because I don't like them. But
You're the stat guy.
You are the stat guy.
I'm not the box score guy. Like I tend to stay away from box scores. I never really talk about points, rebounds, and assist averages, but I get called the stat guy. But I've said, I mean, and to Euro's point, I'm not saying this is proven as in scorekeepers had biases, but in like the 90s, there was a clear discrepancy between John Stockton's assists in home games versus on the road. There was like 3 assists per game difference. I'm not saying there was more leniency with the Utah Jazz scorekeepers, but it's something to something
It's safe to
consider.
assume that,
It
though.
was.
It is very safe to
I would
assume
assume that, but I'm the John Stockton hater, so I don't want to. I don't want to
No,
say
I
that.
mean, but that's not. But I mean, that's what I was alluding to. You know what I'm saying? Like it was. I said the early 2000s, but I guess I was wrong about that because I do remember that about John Stockton too. Like this was a heavily debated topic, and then the NBA kind of like, suppressed that because they don't want it to seem like they're having issues with the fairness of the game. And then right after that, the Tim Donaghy shit happened. You know what I mean? It's like,
But this is the thing, like I have to say, like you said, human error. This is a problem this is always going to be a problem because this is just it's controlled by human beings, you know? I think that's why it's important for guys like us to, see the game and see what's really going on other than just, a lot of people like looking at 9 and 8 assists and thinking that that's the full story to it. I think as guys like you guys watching on the show, us guys watching up here to really dial down and understand why this is happening, And this is a game controlled by humans, and with humans is going to be an error, and we need to be able to differentiate the errors and the facts.
The issue is though is errors are made. Of course, that's not a problem. I don't think but when it becomes deliberate, then that's the issue. And so, like Mar said, John Stockton, there's a clear difference, a 3 assist per game difference, like from road to home games. That's not human error in terms of like unintentional.
That's favoritism.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
it's bias.
that's gonna happen. That bias still happens though. I mean, look at like LeBron James, for instance. Like he should be getting more foul calls due to the technicality of everything, but he doesn't get it because of how big he is. Because he can
Yeah,
handle
but
it.
you don't know each individual referee based off of that. Like it's not like LeBron gets more foul calls when he's playing at home as opposed to playing on the road. That's the point. Like LeBron is just being, he's just getting unfair treatment. Or
And,
I don't want
we
to say
talked
unfair
about
treatment. I
Chris.
want to say inconsistent treatment, inconsistent in relation to all the other players in the league.
And what about Chris Paul and that other referee? Well, I forget his name. What was the referee's name?
Scott Foster.
Scott Foster. Yeah.
I think that's obvious too, and that's something that the NBA is not addressing because once again, we're talking about that Tim Donaghy shit. Scott Foster's at the top of the list. When they were listing all those refs that were a part of this or whatever, and they having huddles, they're in group chats together talking about we're gonna stick it to this player for this game because he said some shit to our colleague the last game. We're not going for that. We are the law, you know what I mean, on the court. So, like, Scott Foster is the ringleader. And if CP3 is one of those guys that, constantly calls him out on it, he's not only having a personal vendetta against him, but he's also, you have to think about this, he's jeopardizing his career. Because if the NBA was to act on that, really investigate,
He's not really because they haven't done.
And they were to find some truth, he would get fired. He would have to resign. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
how
but
would
you
you
know
feel if you were reffing a player and the player is like hell bent on exposing you on the bullshit that you've been doing for decades?
But this all goes to like the connections that people make. Like even though he knows that he's doing what he's doing, he's still gonna do it because at the end of the day, they're not letting go of him. He's been doing it for this extended period of time, and that's probably due to the connections that he has. He probably knows somebody that's not willing to let him go. He probably in bed with somebody that's not willing to let him go. So he's always gonna have a job. So he's more willing to do this because he knows he's not at risk at losing his job. You know what I mean?
When do we get to a point that we start utilizing technology and counting assists and rebounds and points? I'm surprised that we're just not at that point yet.
Oh, like robots?
Yeah. Technology takes over, and it's not somebody writing in a scorebook with a pencil.
You would still need a more consistent criteria because a robot can't work on a rule that is so up to interpretation because it's not going to know what to count as an assist and whatnot. You'd have to make it clear one dribble and a score equals an assist, or or no dribbles and a score. Then a robot can just do his thing from there. But right now, it would be impossible.
Well,
would you be in favor, Mars? Mars, would you be in favor of stat reviewing? So once the game is concluded, right, the box score is out or whatever, but then within a 12-hour period or a 6-hour period or whatever, the NBA stat guys in Hoboken or Secaucus or wherever they sit in Jersey, they look at the game again, right, and actually correct the stats. So, okay, this is an assist, this isn't an assist. The same way that they review referee calls.
That could work. I mean, I think the only stat that needs that to happen would probably be assists, right? Like points, you wouldn't really need to review. Everyone knows who put the ball in the basket. Rebounds is pretty self-explanatory. So it'd be assists, maybe steals and blocks. So it shouldn't take too long, really. So it could work, but you'd probably need like a big cast of people to do that for every regular season game.
Yeah.
I think the robots would be pretty hard, Jay, because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it would be extremely difficult for, like, the machine to watch and track these players and track their movements and everything like that and be able to register it as points, rebounds, and assists. I don't know. I don't know.
Technology's crazy, bro. You could write some code where it knows everything.
If they can do it on NBA 2K, they can do it
exactly. The thing with assists is it wouldn't be a dribble counter. It would be seconds after you caught the ball. So because that's a little more difficult to do right now is like count how long they've had. It's like imagine doing that every possession right when they catch it. Okay, 1, 2. Oh, they just pass it. 1, 2. The technology would just count once this person catches. They have 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever, to put the ball in the basket.
Wait. You said they're doing it on 2K. How are they even doing it on 2K? Watching these guys playing the game. Like, they wear suits and everything in order for them to track all of those movements. Unless you want NBA players wearing suits like that to track the movements.
I'm talking about when you play, like, Micro or whatever, there's box scores. That's not... The suits and stuff is just to track the players' movements, but... That's
where I'm at.
They do rebounds not based on what they do in the suits. They just do rebounds. This player caught the ball, give them a rebound. That's how AI works. That's how
no. But that's all within the realm of the game. I'm talking about in the realm of reality. How are the machines gonna be able to track these players' movements?
So
because the machine can see who catches the ball.
But you could also have small. Well. You could have small 100%. Like RFID chips in people's jerseys where it's unnoticeable. There's ways that you could do it.
I don't know, bro.
I don't think a computer can do that because, call me crazy, but I think the defense has a lot to do with it as well. So if, for example, if you come off of a curl, right, and you catch it and you just hold it, you don't dribble or whatever, and you shoot it as the defense is still setting up, like, the guy's chasing you or whatever, and then you shoot it, I would say that's an assist. But if you just catch it and hold it, to Dell's point with the 4 assists or whatever, the defense then gets to reset and everybody is set. And then you shoot even without the dribble, that's not an assist. You know what I mean? So
right,
I think the defense has to some degree play into that kind of.
That's why I'm saying it would be based on like a seconds after a catch, right? So it would just calculate he's had the ball for 2 seconds, ball went up.
I'm with Sports Dog right here. He said, "Have y'all ever written a code?" I did cybersecurity in college for a little bit, and that code thing is like ridiculous.
Oh yeah, my brain doesn't do that stuff.
I'm telling you, like, I think it's gonna be very difficult. Like right now, or maybe in a few 10 or 20 years from now, it's gonna be very difficult to find like computer engines to sit there and be able to
promise you it's not, bro.
So watching the game,
right?
I'm pretty sure.
Right.
It's a difference.
Is not.
Mars. It's
not as difficult.
Sending rockets to space, bro. Then you're asking a machine to track every single nuance that a human being is doing on the court.
So are you saying tracking a basketball game is harder than rocket science?
Wait, what?
Are you saying tracking a basketball game is harder than rocket science
for the computer engine?
Sure.
Because we're talking about computer engines. I think it will probably be an easier because there's not as many unpredictabilities when we're sitting and talking about the rocket science and the human involvement.
Yo, sending a rocket to space is crazy.
Bro, do you understand how unpredictable human beings are?
Do you understand?
Like, human beings are very undispredictable, and
do you know how unpredictable space is?
Right, dude. Like, man, you have to calculate the stuff up in space, all the rocks and crap. Like, Bro, come on.
It's more. What do I say this? Like, I just hate that comparison because that's more of like a goal into one thing. Well, this is tracking human beings, bro. It's something completely different than a
Bro,
rock. It's not even. It's too incomparable.
Security
It's more
cameras.
so
Let me
tracking
give you.
the
Let me
balls,
blow your mind with some security camera technology. So there are security cameras that exist in facilities where I can spot a person, puts a box around them. It knows you're wearing a maroon button-up shirt. It knows your face, the facial recognition, whatever, and I can now go into my software and track over the last however many hours every single square foot in that building or outside the building that you touched and just follow you.
You bring that point up. Don't bring up a rocket science comparison. It's two completely unrelatable scenarios. There's way more unpredictabilities from the human being than than you going to the fucking moon, bro. I mean, that's just facts.
I mean, unpredictabilities don't matter. We're not trying to predict what someone's stats will be. We're just trying to
Calculate it.
But the robot has to literally watch the whole entire game besides the human being. So that right there, writing the codes and shit for that is extremely difficult to realize.
Like I said, they do it in NBA 2K. Like, I watch them.
It's in the realm of a video game, bro.
The AI plays 5-on-5, and it calculates the stats. It would be the same thing with human beings. You calculate the stats.
No, it's not the same thing. Let me tell you why. 2K has a set of rules.
Scores the ball.
No, 2K has a set of animations. They have a limit of animations within their game realm. So of course it's easier to have that. Humans do not have a set of.
Bro, Dub, you're overcomplicating this. I promise you.
I'm not talking about making them play the game differently. I'm talking about it just counts the stats.
And here's what would happen. Here's what would happen. Here's what would happen. Here's what would happen.
They can calculate the stats because everything is not as unpredictable. There's a line that they can draw to than in a 2K game than it is in a real actual game, bro. Like, I don't think that's
so. How does it calculate stats in Park when it's humans against humans?
Because at the end of the day, the rules and the physics within that realm, within that game, is the rules and physics. It's easier to track. When we talk the rules and the physics in the real world, is way more unpredictabilities. You know how many of the same animations happens for a loose ball or block shot? It's the same exact animations. There's only one limit that the
That's
fucking
fine,
code
but
can
the
track.
computer still recognizes when the shot was blocked. That's my point.
Yes, and I get that.
In a real life game, a computer could still recognize when a shot is blocked.
But bro, you're not understanding that there's just so many things that the computer would have to account for, bro, and it's way too much difficult in my opinion for it to handle.
What would it have to account for?
What happens if
saying unpredictabilities, please?
Bro, because he blocks a shot, but in the way he blocked the shot could be completely different. Because what if he?
But the box score doesn't care about that. It just cares about the block.
Right. So
you're asking. No. Wait. You're asking a robot to essentially watch the game for a human being. That's what you're doing. So they have to be able to track. They have to.
The stats,
yeah.
yes.
How are they going to track the stats without watching the game?
Yeah, they watch the game and they track the stats. Yes.
So
but
yes.
We also watch the game. We're just not tracking the stats.
No. That's my point. So they have to track player movements, correct?
They track the ball more than the player, but sure.
What?
I mean,
no,
Dub,
you have to track
the
player.
ball is the ball is the object.
Dub,
the
it
ball is
already
what counts as points scored
here,
and assists,
bro. This is already kind of happening on like NBA or ESPN. If you go into a game and you click into it, it like shows where the players are on the court, what they did, whatever. So the technology is kind of already there. It's just about determining how you would want this to be implemented, and then writing the code. And you don't implement this immediately when you start this. You trial it for several years and try and perfect it or get it to the point where it's 99% of calculating all the stats, and you would eliminate some of these.
I'm just saying. I think it's way too difficult to find a code, especially when there's so many unpredictabilities within the world. It's just so hard for that. There will. I'm not gonna say this isn't gonna happen, of course, but I don't know if it will happen. Maybe it could in the next 10 to 20 years, but we'll have to see. I just think that you're underestimating how difficult it's going to be.
And I want to address this because FTXAL, he said, so what if a player gets mad at a call and the ref gets pissed, and usually the ref gives a tech or you get tossed where AI doesn't have emotion, so it wouldn't care. That wouldn't be applied in – we're talking about counting stats, not issuing out techs and stuff. That a computer wouldn't issue
that's a stat.
techs.
The stat has to –
Yeah, but that stat would get counted after – like there is still data that would get inputted into a system as well as the software counting these other things for you. But anyway, we can move on because I'm sure people are falling asleep to this.
No, they're not. They're actually agreeing with me, motherfucker.
Boss Man Johnson said, "Dub, seriously, bro?" Jonathan Peralta, if you have cameras on individual players on the court, it makes it easier to track and review. NBA League Pass already does individual cams. And then Boss Man Johnson said that drank talking, Dub. All right.
Listen, y'all could disagree, bro, but I mean, I think you guys are just completely underselling how difficult that would be for a computer.
No one's saying it's not difficult, but you're saying it sounds like you're saying it's impossible, which it's just
Nah, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's extremely difficult. Like you don't understand how difficult that would be.
Have you tried it?
I'd have tried writing code. It's fucking hard, bro.
Yeah, but you are
But you're
not
not a coder.
like a yeah.
That's not your job. You haven't.
I have talked to people that have written codes. I have talked to people that work on computers, and the things that they told me. They
And
do
they
tell me
told
it's
you
a
that
very,
this would be impossible.
No, it's not about this scenario, but they have walked me through it, and it's a very difficult process for a computer to do the most simplest of things. If it's a very difficult process for a computer to do the most simplest things, I do expect it to be very more difficult for a computer to do something that's very astronomically more difficult.
Dov, did you think that you'd be able to play video games with people across the world?
Bro, I grew up in fucking the 2000s, so yes. Like, that's what I grew up in. I grew up in the internet. I'm not saying it's impossible. Like, you keep thinking I'm saying that.
Because I remember a couple episodes ago you said that you didn't.
That I didn't what?
Do you remember that?
That I didn't what?
That you remember a time like growing up where you didn't have internet.
No. Oh yeah. That's right. No, we clarified that though. We did.
We?
Remember? Nah, because I was thinking of the internet as in a more broader scale like social media, but then it was like, nah, you had the computer, you could go on Google and stuff like that. Like I was playing.
If you were
pinball.
born in 2000, what? You were born in 99? What year?
Yeah, 99.
Right, and Facebook came out in 04.
Yeah. So no.
So social media was around. MySpace came before that.
That's what I said. No, I misunderstood it, bro. Like, cause I remember me growing up. You had to pay for internet and stuff like that.
Yeah, you just didn't have it in your household. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I didn't have it.
Yeah,
as
that's
much
fair.
in my household. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
That's fair. All right, let's talk about this NBA age requirement that they're considering lowering the age from 19 to 18. I think there's also talk about the one and done rule. There's no specifics about ending the one and done rule, but at least lowering the eligibility age to enter the draft at 18. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. I'm also going to drop the link to come up here and chat with us to everyone in the chat. Link is now in the chat. If you want to join the show, come up and debate, come up and talk with us.
Yo, if Cash is here, bring Cash on.
Cash.
Who?
I don't know. You remember last night, JD, he hit us up on Twitter. He wants to be
Give me
on.
a second. I'll DM him.
All right. I don't know though, man. Like I mean, I'm down for it, I guess. Like I don't see the issue. I have no idea what the business decision behind this is. You know, like I would like to know, because the NBA is not making no crazy rule change like that unless it benefits them. So I would really like to see the reasons for it. You know what I mean? Like what actually made them say, you know what, back in the day we changed that rule to benefit the league and now we're reversing it. I would like to see the reasonings behind that.
Let's see. Trying to skim through this article and see what some of these points are. I think one issue with this is just the development of not only physically but mentally with players coming in at a younger age. I mean, 19 is also young, But at least going to college and getting a year under your belt, I think that helps. I don't know the significance, how significant that helps, but being on your own, experience in college, and you're also playing at a higher level than high school, I think that experience does help. Coming right out of high school, there's going to be some guys who are disgusting in high school, go to the NBA, and it's just going to be overwhelming. They're not going to be able to compete at that level yet. They're just not ready, as opposed to someone who's, gone up against college competition or the G League Ignite, for example. But I don't know. Mars,
I mean, my thing is this, though. Like, why would you even consider that in the age of NIL deals? Because look, if you're good enough
if you're a player,
be,
from a player's perspective.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Because if you're good enough to go straight from high school into the league, then you're good enough to make a lot more money through NIL deals than making money in the NBA. And those NIL deals, they won't happen if you're in the league, because you're just a player in the league. And not only are you just a player, but you're one of the quote unquote like average players, because who's to say that you're LeBron James coming into the league averaging 20 plus 25 plus games? You see what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily know if I was a player if I would actually consider that now.
Right, yeah, from the player's perspective, staying in college now is pretty enticing, especially if you're kind of I don't know how you'd put it, like a bubble fringe guy, but you're still really good in college. Like, go and try and get some deals for sure.
At the end of the day, it's just another avenue, and it's a positive avenue for young athletes, and I'm all for it, man. If you know what I mean, because it doesn't become a situation where it's like pick your poison. It's like literally, man, I can make sound decisions. What's best for me? You see what I'm saying? So
for sure,
I like it for the sport. I like it for the athletes, because y'all know I'm pro athlete anyway, no matter what. So
for sure. Massive Artist, what's good, bro?
What's going on? What's going on, man?
What up?
What are your thoughts on this?
I think I don't know, I feel like players should go to college just because of the I would say like the climax where it goes. Like when you play in college is way different to me than NBA. Like to me. So I feel like once you go to college, you will get that experience with playing at a higher level. Because like old dude said, like no one, like you can't expect a high school player to be like LeBron James. That's like weird. So I would say, I don't know if I take it to 18 just because the maturity level, because a lot of players like we see like Kevin Porter Jr. He was supposed to be this guy, but his maturity level was not really there.
There's a lot of injury in that too, though.
Yeah.
Oh no, my fault. I'm thinking MPJ. Sorry.
Like up here, he didn't have it, because a lot of colleges really like get you ready for the NBA. Even though like NBA is like, once you really reach there, you going back at the bottom. So.
But what about players who are a certain way, like their game is a certain way, right? And it's very conducive to how they play in the league. And then they are forced to go to college, and it just stunts their growth.
I agree.
It messes with their confidence, and so now the pro that they could have been is that's not a reality anymore, because they've been.
I agree.
Put in a box where they can't actually diversify like that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Because like, what does it say if LeBron did? I always say maybe Kobe and LeBron should have had about 1 or 2 years in the college, but he was already NBA ready, so I can see what you mean. I see what you mean, because basketball to me is all about roles, about playing a role. So.
Right. So there's talks about the NBA standing up a NBA Europe League, right? And so eventually, this is my thoughts on this. They will have the guys who are good enough to be pros, and definitely the type of player that shouldn't be in college, because college is a very structured and like dogmatic type of style of basketball, right? That if it doesn't favor them, right, they just gonna ship them to Europe, to the NBA Europe, and like develop in that way. Would you still say, you know what, they should be going to college, or because you're just in favor of college, or are you just in favor of a player having an additional step in between high school and the NBA?
I can see that. I would say I like that idea of the Euro League just because you're right. It is a different system than playing like NBA because your role, like I said, like your role will change. Like it's kind of like I know a lot of y'all like when y'all say, well, he doesn't have as much points as this guy, but his role changes when he plays in a different game. So,
Right.
like you said, like when he plays in college, he's probably a marksman shooter. But when he goes to like the Euro League, the whole thing might change because maybe there's somebody out there like better than you at like shooting the ball. So, yeah, I think I like that idea. That I can see like both sides like going to college, but making somebody go down to 18. But it's a real thing. It's like I said to me, it's like it really all depends on if you can fit a role in the basketball team, like because you could be the man. Like say me and you like on a team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would say I'm primarily like a scorer, but you're probably a better ball handler than me. So I would either probably come off screens and get that scoring. Like you would take more of the ball handling like ability from me because I'm a scorer. So you would
Right.
primarily want me scoring the basketball. So yeah, I can see both sides. I can see, why they would do it. It's a pro and a con. It just depends on who the player is as a person. So
Right.
yeah.
Did you come up here with anything else that you wanted to get off your chest?
Oh no, man. I just I man. I think usually just like a lot of stuff that you guys say. I remember I just watched a bunch of y'all episodes, and I saw Dub over there. He said something about Magic, and he said well, he played with Kareem and Jamal Wilkes and all them. But what were they doing before him? Like
They were actually playing well
they were
without
playing
him,
and winning.
really well, the
You know what
same
I mean?
way.
I see. For me, when people say, "Well, he played with this guy," I'm not. I cannot like hold that against them because there's so many great teams that don't even win. Like great teams that have this talent together that don't even win. Like I can't hold that against him, especially because he was also playing great teams out in the East. Like he was playing the Celtics, he was playing the Sixers. So really,
But
like
they beat the Sixers when they beat one time the Sixers without a Moses Malone.
yeah, and they
Um,
and then they, God,
yeah. Then they
yeah,
got swept with Moses Malone.
and Sixers, and then you had Bad Boy Pistons. So like you really want to talk about super teams? That was like the super team era, really. The
Then they lost to the Bad Boy Pistons once, and then the Bad
yeah,
Boys Pistons beat them one other time, right?
yeah,
They lost
Okay.
in '89, but
yeah.
they
They
won in
lost because
Yeah.
'88.
they,
Uh,
they lost because what's his name? Didn't
uh,
yeah.
So there's a lot of things to be said. So I'll say it like this. It's not about knocking Magic Johnson for him as a player because I don't do that. I still do think that
Right.
Magic Johnson is one of the best players to ever play the game. But when I'm comparing Magic Johnson and comparing all these guys to everybody else, I mean, I got to nitpick at this point. I got to understand why somebody's successful. And a lot of times people hold Magic Johnson and even Stephen Curry to the status that they are right now, mainly because of rings, mainly because they were winning titles with the guys around them. And then when I sit here and acknowledge the situation that Matt Johnson was a part of, it was really a crazy ass situation. And I'll put it in comparison like this. Think about Luka Doncic coming into the league
Right.
with playing with LeBron James,
Okay.
playing with Jamal Wilkes was a two-way player, so we're gonna give him Jimmy
Right.
Butler.
Okay.
Norm Nixon was a borderline all-star, so we'll say like a Jared Allen or a Fred VanVleet,
Mm-hmm.
and a DPOY caliber player in Michael Cooper, and that's
Yeah.
Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
So you telling me in Luka Doncic's rookie year that team right there isn't in title contention or is probably favored to win the chip?
No. They are. But what if Magic didn't win? What if Magic didn't win? Like that's what I'm like. What I'm saying is like I know like what you're saying. Like yeah,
Magic's a great player, and
yeah,
like Luka's a great player. Like
yeah,
Steph's a great. Like these are all great
yeah.
players. Like I'm not gonna knock that away from them. They did exactly what they were supposed to do.
We're just-
But to sit here and say that one person is better than the other just because, like to sit here and say that Magic Johnson is just better than CP3 just because Magic Johnson won 5 rings, it's just
no,
ridiculous to me.
to
It's
me,
just ridiculous.
I don't I go off ring, but I I say Michael's the best, not just because 6 rings, because he was the best on all of his all of his championship teams. Like, he was undoubtedly the best player. Like, to me, like, when they say, like, Kareem's up there, I'm like, dude, he only won 2 finals MVPs. So, like, I can't, like, Kareem, if I had to say, like, my top 5, the second one, y'all probably like, what? But it's Michael at the 1, Bill at the 2, LeBron at 3, and then Magic, then Kareem.
So you like chips?
No. I always compare them to their era. Like, so
Okay, cool.
for me, like, Bill had the most impact out of his era. He won 11 chips with the era. And then they always say, well, he had all these teammates. And then it took him a lot of years to even win again. So, and his impact on his team, his leadership to me. For me, I always go back and forth with Michael. I'm at Magic and LeBron, but just because of things that I've seen about LeBron and things I've seen from Magic. But if you say LeBron's better than Magic, I wouldn't really like. I understand what you mean.
I
Like,
get what you. I get your take.
Yeah, I get now when people say Kobe better than LeBron, but I understand why. But I would probably still take LeBron over. Now, if I had to start a team, it depends. Because if I have because I think the thing about LeBron that gets me.
Nah, yeah, no, I get your criteria and everything, bro. So I mean, this is not a debate I'm really gonna, argue about.
Yeah, I don't like just me. I don't like the whole longevity thing either. Just because, like, why would I take a guy that played 20 years and accomplished the same amount as the guy who played 13? Like, that to me is, like, weird because most of the time now you just counting stats. And it's like they have no weight on him. Like, like when they say, oh, he scored the most points, I'm like, yeah, playing like
he had like 20 years.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
Like, Terry, like, oh, he like that's like LeBron. He like all these dudes score points. I'm like, bro, so Jason Terry the best defender because he had like 3,000 steals.
No, yeah, I feel you on that, bro. Longevity could be overrated.
Yeah,
you got anything else you would like to say?
Oh no, man, it's just the John Stockton thing. That's a weird one.
Oh boy, Dub, you're gonna have this guy up here for an hour.
No, I agree with most of the stuff that he says. Like when he was debating with Shaq and them, that dude, I'm glad he ain't that.
Got you.
But I would put so Dub, where do you have Stockton like top point guards?
Stockton is good as on his right. I don't want to spark up another debate.
We gotta
get some other guys up here.
We've been talking about Stockton so much. Hey, we appreciate you coming up here though, bro. And I am a L host because I didn't even read off the regular and elite members, so I'll do that next.
How you doing, man? Thank you for having me up here, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks for coming. And then we'll get to super chats. But look at me. I was talking trash and Ron, and I'm up here not even acknowledging those who support Players' Choice. Like, disgusting. So shout out to everybody who supports Players' Choice. And please, I don't know how we haven't even gotten to this point, but please, 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 the free way, don't even have to spend a dime. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you're constantly getting all the Players' Choice content. You're up to date. So make sure you do that. Shout out to the elite and regular members of the Players' Choice YouTube channel. iOS Inc., TC the Don, Gideon, Tyson Thomas, Dre Day, 77, Ace Boogie, Jacob Douglas, Montej Singh, Classically Christian, Adekunle Olrin. I hope I said that correctly. Devontae Bailey, King J, Zeke Noel, Kendrick's Beast Squad. This is fire. I'm reading off every member. That was going to take forever. My bad. 40KOW, LeBron James. I don't know what the rest of that is. Dorian Clayton, Sacred Gaming, Grande Jones, Broctopus, James Daniels, Notorious Divine, Jordan Lembeck, Kieran Woname, Q, Scabaldi, J-Rock123, Liban Ali, Supreme J, Alex Cami, Tim Wogren, Tino Bolton, Avi Adikari, Ali, Gabe, Christian, Sergio Mendoza, Jonathan Boyd, number 9, Bean, Uncle Tito, Real Max Sauce, Josh P23, Elder, Rufus, Nick T, Bait, K-Dog, Odd Malik, Jagar's Underworld, MC Robinson, Kenyon White, Big Meech, and James Gaz. Shout out to y'all. We got some super chats flying in, so let's hit these. Travis Lindsay, news just hit. Suns owners looking to sell the Suns and the Mercury, and we actually have a statement from Sarver. It reads, as a man of faith, I believe in atonement and the path to forgiveness. I expected that the commissioner's 1-year suspension would provide the time for me to focus, make amends, and remove my personal controversy from the teams that I and so many fans love. But in our current unforgiving climate, it has become painfully clear that that is no longer possible, that whatever good I have done or could still do is outweighed by things I have said in the past. For those reasons, I am beginning the process of seeking buyers for the Suns and Mercury. Ooh.
I hate apology.
Ooh.
I hate apology messages. I really do. I can't stand them. It's just you just put a face on in order to just I don't know, stay the backlash that you've been getting. But I mean, I don't give a damn about what he said. If I'm gonna be just real, I mean, just sell the team. Is what it is. You only had to put a message.
You don't,
Nobody
you
really
don't
cares
give a
what you
damn
have to
about
say.
what he said in the past, or don't give a damn about what he just said?
I don't give a damn about what he just said because of what he said in the past. You know? Like, this is the same guy that was like correct. Like, this is a racial thing, right?
Also, but there's
Also.
more.
There's
I think
several.
there's more sexual misconduct than
Sexual
racial
misconduct,
stuff.
racial shit. Like, I don't give a damn about what you have to say in your apology message when I'm hearing things like that. I'm gonna just be real. You're saying what you think that you should say. It's not because you feel as if you feel bad for what you've done. It's because you got caught up and now you have to say the politically correct thing. So I don't give a damn about your little apology statement. So it just doesn't matter to me. Just go sell the team. You don't even have to say any of that, honestly, if I'm gonna just be real.
Yeah, I don't. To me, that doesn't read like an apology at all. Like, I think he's letting people know that fuck this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't agree with this, and I'm being forced out, and I'm letting you guys know.
Yeah.
That's how this reads to me.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
because he was like, no, I'm keeping this shit, and then I mean, this is America. You know what I mean? It's capitalism. Like, don't nothing move on, other than the money, and so they start fucking with his money. You know what I mean? Or I should say, they start fucking with the NBA's money because PayPal was like, which is like their primary sponsor, right? They were like, bro, like, we're not rocking with you. And the NBA is like, no, we need that money. And so it's like, if he got to go, he got to go. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think, look at the Sterling situation, right? I don't think it can be too different than that one in terms of like dishing out punishment and what has to happen retroactively after learning all of this information. Otherwise, the NBA will be in a hellhole with their inconsistencies. Here we are again with the topic of inconsistency in the NBA. You know what I mean? Regardless of what area of life we're talking about, they have to show a clear direction. And so if they did something with Donald Sterling before, got him up out of here because of similar situations that Sarver has been accused of and has been proven to, I guess, do, they got to punish him the same way.
Right.
Period.
I'm with you, Euro, on this. It doesn't read like an apology for it's definitely like fuck you. Here's the thing, when you make mistakes, because we live in this world of like cancel culture and whatnot, I believe that you can become a better person and do better things and stuff. But in situations like this, like, you have to be removed. Like, please become a better person after this and whatever, continue to live your life, whatever. You can still become a better person. But with these situations, like, you're owning a team and you're making people at work feel uncomfortable and you're disrespectful, like, you have to go. I'm sorry. Like, whatever. Don't feel bad. So, is what it is. Bossman Johnson, come on, y'all know exactly why his name is LBJ Jr. Jonathan Peralta, he's a career 27 points per game scorer. Longevity is overrated. If you over 30 and waking up with back pain from sitting in chair and are talking about it being overrated, LMFAO gay. Bossman Johnson. Y'all talk about longevity like Dirk or Vince or Udonis did what LeBron is doing. That's nasty. If Kobe had Bron's career, he would be the GOAT to many people.
I think he means if Kobe had LeBron's longevity. which possibly could. He could be the GOAT if he lasted that many years, but I mean he didn't, so I can't
Who?
just say that. Kobe Bryant.
Kobe did last. He got 20 years.
But it's a
Yeah, but it's
difference.
not the same.
Yeah.
Kobe. It was like 4 years at the start, and then the Achilles. So it's like really like 13 years, kind of.
So now we are taxing him for injuries.
No,
I'm
but
just saying that's the difference between his longevity and LeBron's, because he has 7 years that were just not elite quality, whereas LeBron's been elite for like 18 years.
Yeah, I get you.
Boone, what's up, bro?
Yo.
What up?
How you doing, bro? On the job.
Oh, yeah.
Working man.
Y'all can hear me, right?
Tuning into
Yes,
Player's
sir.
Choice. That's elite.
What's good, Dub?
what's good, my guy? How are you?
What's up, Mars? You nasty Mars. I just want to touch on the 18-year-old thing that the NBA wants to do. I don't think that's a good idea. Because they're taking kids. At the end, they're kids. I mean, I know you're 18, but you're going into like a grown man. It's a job at the point. I know they're playing basketball. It's fun, but it's really a job. And 18-year-old kids are looking up to guys like LeBron, Kobe, Kevin Garnett, Trey Young, Steph Curry. And I don't think as an 18-year-old kid, your mindset is not like, I got to do my job. I got to work on my body. They're all thinking about money and fame, glam. And I think it just messes up their, it just messes up their head, and it messes up their growth. So I don't think that's a good idea. I think you should do at least a year in college or play somewhere with like a professional, do something with a training, and then you should go to the NBA. And then that's, because I look at guys like, I look at guys like, for example, like I would say Bradley Beal. I don't think Bradley Beal, the way he plays, I don't think he's ever going to win. Because he's just making so much money. Like him, James Harden, I don't think he's ever going to win. It's just like the way they play, their mindset. It's just like they're so famous. It just takes away from their game. It's like the way they play.
None of them came out of high school.
Huh?
None of those guys came out of high school, though.
Well, I'm saying like the way they play the game. It's not. It doesn't translate into like, winning. It doesn't translate into anything. James Harden, I think James Harden is like one of the most talented shooting guards ever. But I think after he left OKC, I think it just went downhill from there. I know he had good years, but all of that stuff he was doing, it just never translated. And it got to a certain point where he got traded. He got traded again. And it was just after that, I think now at this point, James Harden is like, he's just balling. He's not.
So
I don't think he's gonna win ever.
I got a couple things to comment on. One of those things is a lot of guys that you're bringing up, like they never came out of high school, like a James Harden or Bradley Beal.
Okay, so look at. Okay, I can take it to somebody out of high school. Look at like.
Yeah, Kendrick Perkins come out,
KG,
Kobe,
T-Mac.
KG, T-Mac. The point
Howard.
I'm trying, if Zion
Howard.
Williamson, if
Josh
they allowed him, I
Monte
think he
Ellis.
could have came into the NBA. He was NBA ready that first year he went to the college. Like, I think being 18 years old and coming into the league is fine with me, because if you're NBA ready, you're NBA ready. You go into a college for 1 year, it really doesn't do anything for you, but it's actually harder to play in college than in the NBA because you have school and classes you have to go to. On top of that, you need to do the workouts and the after hours. So it's like 12. You were doing like 12 or 13-hour days, bro, committed to school and working on your game.
These motherfuckers ain't going to school, bro. Let me tell you this: if you are good enough to go straight from high school to the league, right, and you choose to go to college, I would make the argument that it's probably a safer environment for you to be a pro than it is being in college. With all that debauchery that's happening and shit like that, you don't have to go to class. You are being coddled, and like you have the safety net of the AD, you know what I'm saying, of the entire program, the school. Like they are making millions off of you. they're not letting nothing happen to you, bro. You can go anywhere, you know what I mean? The local police, campus police or whatever, they're looking out for you and all that stuff. Bro, and look at what Kobe was saying, bro. Like, it was great for him to be that young and quote unquote not, be able to do things that he would be doing in college, because all of his peers are now of age. And if they're talking about, let's go to the bar, he can't go to the bar. Like, he literally is just going to the gym and going back home. On top of that, I think it has something to do with like the people that you keep around you. If you already have fucked up people around you, you know what I mean, that are enablers and that don't check you on the dumb shit that you might be doing, you're gonna have those people around in college, in the pros, wherever. That's just your circle of, you know what I mean, that you carry with you in life or whatever. Mm-hmm. But if you have the right type of people around you, especially in the pros, they're gonna steer you right. Look at LeBron. That was a prime example. And look at all his boys. Right? Everybody was hating on them. Well, y'all young, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all talking about or whatever. And he's the first basketball player who's like legitimately, him and his boys are, everybody is multimillionaires.
They're an empire.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really, you know what I mean? It's like this, man. If you're an idiot, you're an idiot. Period. If you have fucking assholes around you, you have assholes around you. That has nothing to do with you deciding whether or not you know what I mean, you move into the pros or go into college. And I think saying that people have to go to college or whatever, that's taking personal choice away. And it has nothing to do with basketball at that point. So I respectfully disagree.
And to go off of that, I'll say if you have the talent, you have the talent as well. I mean, if you have the talent to come straight out of high school, you have it. Some guys have spent 2 or 3 years in college and they still don't have the talent, so that's just what I'll say to that.
Yeah, that's good perspective, you're on. Dope, man. Boone, appreciate you tapping in, bro.
Yeah, can I just ask Mars a question, because he's really nasty.
Of course.
Mars is the nastiest kid. Mars, I don't want to talk about John Stockton because like my head's gonna blow up. I just want to you were bringing about this playmaking, and you said Shaq you said a lot of nasty things, but I'm gonna talk about playmaking. When it comes to like playmaking and creating for your team and dishing out assists and setting people up, John Stockton was elite at that, like better than like 95% of people, if you ask me. I think he did it to the point where it was just like, second nature. He woke up and was throwing dimes. And you were saying that he's not top. What you said, he wasn't top, and it was just nasty. I just don't understand like your playmaking like mindset. It's just weird to me.
I agree with everything you just said.
So you think John Stockton is top 5 playmaker?
No, you said he's better than 95% of people. I agree with you. He's
at
in the
playmaking.
top 5. Yeah, he's in the top 5% of playmakers ever, because I said he was in the top 15.
The top 15?
Yeah, that's top 5%, is it not?
That is.
So what's the problem?
So can you name 10 people better playmakers than John Stockton?
I think Luka Doncic is a better playmaker than John Stockton.
Luka Doncic is a better scorer.
I know he's a better scorer, but that's not what I said.
He's not a better playmaker.
I disagree with you.
Magic, John Stockton, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, Chris Paul.
This all goes to the way that you two are defining playmaking. Mars defines playmaking in a whole different realm. He defines playmaking the way that I define impact. He accounts for somebody's scoring value and how their scoring can impact the game and create plays for other guys. Well,
that is
you and I, we look at playmaking more of a
passing
point
Floor
guard.
general, that's what
Floor generalship, reading defense, breaking it down, knowing your personnel, knowing how to get them in the perfect positions for them. Mars looks in a completely different light, which is why he says what he says.
No, he takes that into account plus scoring the basketball,
exactly,
which is playmaking.
You think scoring the basketball is playmaking?
It's 1,000% playmaking.
I think impact.
Are you making a play when you're scoring the basketball?
Causing defenses.
That's impact.
To you scoring.
That's
playmaking.
impact.
It's playmaking.
If you create for other people, due to the fact that people are so worried about you scoring, that they either double team you, they force rotations. To me, you made the play. If you didn't get the assist directly, if you threw it out to the wing, who then threw the pass to the corner, You're the one who got double teams. You're the one who forced the rotation. You made that play, in my opinion, not the guy who got the assist.
That's
why
impact.
I call playmaking.
That's the
That
impact
we've
you
been
have
through
on the
this.
court.
Yes, we just call it different things. I'm just saying why I call playmaking.
So everybody in the league's a playmaker then.
Everyone has some sort of playmaking value. It doesn't make you a playmaker, but everyone has some form of playmaking value. Yes,
So Joel Embiid's a playmaker.
for sure. He has like the most scoring gravity in the league. He's not
But
a great passer, but he's definitely a very good playmaker. He's not the best playmaker in the team. That's James Harden, but he's definitely a playmaker.
I gotta ask you this, and
So how do you separate point guard from center from small forward? Are they just all in one category? Like
Those are just
a
positions.
point guard.
What do you mean? That's just positions. Those are different things.
Yeah, but Joel Embiid is not playmaking. And nobody goes to nobody's thinking about Joel Embiid as he's the greatest playmaker, top 10. No, he's just a big body. He's a low post threat.
I never called him
He's
a
an
top
offensive
10
threat.
playmaker either. I never even said he was better than John Stockton, so I don't know why we're talking about this.
He shouldn't even be considered a playmaker.
I never
You didn't-
considered him a playmaker. I said he had playmaking value. You asked, like, I never called Joel that playmaker, but he still playmakes. You're trying to box people into one category. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying Steph Curry is a great playmaker. That means he can't be a great scorer. I'm saying he's a great scorer and a great playmaker. Same thing with LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Trae Young. They can do multiple things. These aren't just one-dimensional people.
It's not about it being one dimensional, but when we're separating categories and defining players for who they are, we are separating everything and analyze what they're extremely good at. You're talking about the scoring gravity of a Stephen Curry, which I agree with. The scoring impact that he has on the team is what I agree with you. But playmaking, we need to be able to separate their abilities with the ball. And the way that you separate their abilities with the ball is when we classify it as playmaking. No, we know the scoring threat he has. We know the scoring impact he has. We know what he can do with the ball, off ball, on ball. We know what he poses. But how do we learn the skills that he has with the ball in his hands? How we know what he can do with the ball in his hands? We don't know this off of your definition. That's why we say playmaking, because we separate.
I could just call
But
that
Dub,
passing. I could just call that passing, and then
Right.
You call that
So,
passing?
Dub,
That's what
passing the ball is passing the
playmaking-
ball. Yes.
Playmaking is a combination of things. There is scoring, there is passing, there is a bunch of things that goes into playmaking.
I disagree. It's not scoring. I just disagree. That's
I'm
not
not
the way I
saying
look.
I'm not saying if you average 30, you're a great playmaker. By the way,
I know what you're saying. You're saying if
So I'm
somebody
not
has.
saying scoring makes you a great playmaker.
You're not. I know what you're saying. You're saying that the impact that somebody causes due to their scoring gravity, you include that in your playmaking. So then, how do you
100%.
even measure impact then? You can't measure impact if you're including that in playmaking.
Impact playmaking contributes to impact. So does scoring. So does defense. So does rebounding. They all culminate into impact. You're trying to make everything one separate category when basketball is a fluid sport. They all go into one another.
Yeah, that's what we do when
scoring,
we
shooting, finishing at the rim, mid-range game. That's all scoring. It's one category, but then you can break it down into more parts. You want me to break playmaking into passing, floor general, leadership, running a pick and roll. That's cool, but ultimately it's all one bracket. Playmaking. That's all I'm doing.
Dub, let me ask you, do you think, like on the defensive end, right, do you think taking the charge is playmaking?
Hell no.
No.
Never in my life.
If you're not setting setting somebody up to score or setting them up to get a bucket or pushing the ball in transition, you're not
because
playmaking.
our screens, honestly, our screens are part of play. I mean, if we're going to include this, our
Setting a
screens are part
screen
of
is not
playmaking.
playmaking.
Is
No.
Draymond Green a better playmaker because he's setting off-ball screens?
Bro, you guys keep
No.
trying to give one example of
Answer the question though. Which would by your definition, you're basically creating a play for somebody to get open due to you standing there and setting a fucking pick. So can you include that in playmaking? Is Rudy Gobert a better playmaker because he sets fucking picks?
Bro, see, you are
Answer the question. Is he yes or no?
better than who?
Better than who? It would add to his playmaking value.
Better than himself if he wasn't doing that.
This is what I've done. I'm not doing that shit.
But
I'm not
I never
gonna say
said he was
Rudy
a
Gobert.
good playmaker.
I'm
not saying he's a good playmaker. I'm not saying he's better than anyone. I haven't said that. But it would add to his value.
I'm not going to sit here and think that Rudy Gobert causes a playmaking value just because he's setting fucking screens is the point, Mars. Why would I do that?
If you get someone, if Steven Adams sets a great screen versus a center who sets a bad screen and he gets more people open, how is he not making that play? He got the guy open.
All right,
God,
Dub. I'm going to
Yeah,
dumb
he's
this.
running it better than
Listen.
someone
I'm
else.
going
He
to
got the guy
dumb this
open better
down
than
for
someone
everyone.
else.
I'm going to dumb this down for everyone. No. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I did not mean to do that.
Yes, you did. Yes, you
I
did.
didn't mean to move him. I didn't mean to move him. I was going to mute him.
You gave him that. You gave him that
was
Sarver
heat.
excuse too, man. He was like,
I was going to mute him really quick because I want to define this. Let's define this. So play making, right? Making a play. If Rudy Gobert goes to set a screen, what is he doing?
He's setting a screen.
Is a screen a play in the sport of basketball? Is that a play?
We're
okay.
including everything then.
Who's making that play?
Ball handler.
No. Who's making that play happen? A pick and roll. Who is
the ball
making
handler
that
sets
play
the
happen?
pick.
Oh, the fucking Rudy Gobert.
That's fair.
No, Rudy,
it is
no,
two pair.
No,
it's
JJ,
two people.
This is why I hate this shit, because I know exactly what the hell you're saying, and I don't even know why you're trying to dumb it down when I know what you're saying. I just don't fucking agree with it, is my point.
That's fine that you don't agree with it. I'm just telling you what playmaking is.
No.
It's making plays.
No, bro.
And it's
Not
all
really.
encompassing. But just because somebody sets screens.
Is blocking the shot playmaking?
We have to include literally everything.
Play.
Yeah. I mean, shit. Plays
yeah.
are being made on the offense and the defensive end, of course. I mean, Mars, like,
because now y'all
you are
to
here, JD. We're all here. We just trying to understand Dub.
But what y'all doing is y'all will have to include every single thing that's happening on the basketball court, because generally speaking, everything you do on the court can cause and play. Literally everything. Setting a screen, a pass, you standing on the corner so to let the lane wide open for somebody else. That's creating plays essentially. So what are we doing? So what are we doing?
Right.
Honestly?
So then
Dub. Moving around the court is
Dub. But that's why you add everything all together, and then you determine the level of playmaker that they are. If I am only one-dimensional in my playmaking abilities, for example, if all I do is set screens, call me Steven Adams. I'm not an elite playmaker. But if I am a Draymond Green who is an elite pick and roll player, he's a great passer, he can get people open, get himself open at times.
Dub, let me tell you this. Somebody like Duncan Robinson, right? Somebody like Duncan Robinson, right?
Is he a playmaker?
Okay, let me get to it, right? What happens if the coach calls a decoy with Duncan Robinson, and then something happens because Duncan Robinson is running the fucking decoy? He's the decoy.
Yes,
like, is that not a play? Did he not make the play?
Yeah, no, that's a play that's being created due to what the coach is drawing up. But that play is being created. That play is being created due to his scoring and his scoring gravity, not because of him as a playmaker. Y'all, what you guys are just saying is, let's sit here and analyze every single thing that happens on the basketball court and call it playmaking, because that's what you're doing. You're saying that everything on the basketball court is creating a play. Honestly, we're going to be 100%. I'm not doing that. I would never do that. That's what you're doing.
No,
setting screens. You running off ball. Ball. A guy mistaken you. Klay Thompson could be classified as a good playmaker. Kyle Korver could be classified as a good playmaker.
Everybody has playmaking abilities. Just some have it more than others. Some roles have.
You saying this counts as playmaking, then you jump to a weird conclusion that I'm calling everyone a great playmaker. No, I'm saying they have playmaking value in different areas.
It's like everybody can grab a rebound, bro.
You're adding to his playmaking value where you shouldn't even add it at all. It's the impact that he has on the court, bro.
What's the difference, in my opinion? We'll use Duncan Robinson as an example again. What is the difference in this situation? Duncan Robinson comes off a pin down, two defenders jump him so he can't shoot, and the guy top of the key, usually Bam Adebayo, finds the screen and roll into the rim. What's the difference between Duncan Robinson making that pass and Bam Adebayo? What is the difference? It's the exact same play. The only difference is someone else made the pass. Duncan Robinson is the reason that guy was open. So to me, Bam Adebayo gets credit for the pass and Duncan Robinson gets credit for the play. That's all it is. I'm not giving credit to just one person because there's more dominoes than one thing. The whole game of basketball isn't impacted by whoever throws the ball. You want to watch the ball and say, okay, this player made the play because he threw the ball to this guy. I'm saying there's more nuance than that. I'm saying the
We're
reason this guy was open
we're
is because of
essentially
what this guy did the
Mars,
play
Mars,
before.
Mars.
That's it.
We're essentially saying the same thing. I'm saying the play is being created due to the impact that Duncan Robinson has as a scoring threat. Without Duncan Robinson and that scoring threat, the play cannot be created. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so to me that means
It's
he
the
made
impact.
the play.
It's the impact that
Playmaking.
he has. It's the impact that he has as a scorer. It's not that he's a playmaker. When we're talking about playmaking, bro,
You just
it's
said
what
he
you're
made the
doing.
play.
I said he made the play because of the
So that
impact that
means
he has as a scorer.
make
I'm
play.
That's
Make
what
play.
you're just taking
Make
the
play.
this
He
is the
made the
same
play.
this is the same arguments. This is the same arguments you have for a skill set, Mars. Because by your definition, everything in basketball is a skill to you. Because by the definition of a skill, it's anything that you can improve. So your jumping
Yes.
ability, your speed,
Yes.
all of these factors you have to include.
Yes,
You're
they are
taking the literal
skills.
definition of something, and you're just taking it and running with it. When that's
And
not
we'll
how
go with the
basketball works, in
definition
my
that
opinion.
people had 40 years ago when they didn't understand any nuance of basketball.
They still
All right, let's
understand the
move.
nuances of
Let's
basketball,
move,
bro.
let's move.
I'm
And
trying to
playmaking is still
explain
the
nuance
same
of
exact.
basketball. You're still holding on to the way people
Yo,
did it 40
what-
years
That's
ago.
how it
I
is,
have a
bro.
question for our guest.
Oh, but then when we talk about the 60s, you want to say it was a different game. But now when I'm trying to change definitions from the 60s, you want to keep them.
No, you're
Make up your
changing.
mind. Are we changing or keeping
No,
it?
no, no. You're changing the definitions when you don't really need to change it. Mars is what I'm saying.
Well, I want
Playmaking,
to change the definition that
because this is
clearly
how we
ignores a
separate.
lot of
This is
parts of
how we separate people and understanding the strengths and weaknesses in their game. We take it all away and be like, all right, what can this guy do? Can this guy go do this thing with the ball in his hands? Can he create plays without being a scoring threat? This is what we do
I agree
when we're
with
analyzing
that.
players.
I do the
Okay.
same thing.
All right,
Okay.
we're
Thompson
moving.
is
We're
a
moving.
bad
We've
on-ball playmaker. He's
we've
good off
had
the
this
ball.
debate
I
too
do
many
the same
times.
thing.
All right, Euro, go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, bro. You work for USPS, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever intentionally or unintentionally lost a package from StockX? Be honest.
I don't
Get
lose
him.
packages, man.
Hey,
I'm
that's
not that
dope.
guy, man. I'm a
Good man.
good guy, man.
Good man, man. Appreciate that, dog.
Yo, Boone, thanks for tapping in, bro.
Oh, I don't know if you know JD, but I was the guy last time that was trying to come up and my mic was off.
Okay, that's what I thought. You looked familiar, and I was hoping that the mic worked, and it did. So appreciate you tapping in, man. Thank you for supporting Players' Choice, brother.
All right, man.
All right, peace out. All right, let's get Cash up here, man.
Mars not playing with y'all today, man.
Man, Mars ain't saying a bunch of
Yeah.
bullshit, bro. If we're gonna be real, bro. If you're gonna be honest, like he's just
He
saying a
not
bunch of
playing with y'all. He not playing with you either,
He's
Dub.
saying
You better get your
nonsense,
shit
bro.
together, bro.
He
Get
just
your
said that
shit
jumping-
together.
he
Get
just
your
said that
shit
jump-
together,
He
Dub.
just said that jumping ability is a skill, bro. Are you serious right now? Do you agree with that?
Yes,
Do you agree
jumping
with that?
is so jumping isn't a skill.
No, bro. What are you talking
Okay.
about?
I disagree
No.
with you.
No.
I mean, jumping is a
Jumping
skill.
ability is a
Jumping
skill.
is a skill.
Come on,
I
bro.
guess Usain Bolt isn't skilled. He's just
It's leadership
fast.
is skill. Like all of
Dub.
these things
Yes,
are skills,
this
bro.
thing called leadership skills. What do you mean?
Dub, you're a little crazy in saying jumping isn't a skill because you have
Jumping
to look
is
at
not
you,
a skill,
bro. But look
it's
at
a
look at
physical attribute.
but look at how people jump and like you can develop higher vertical and
By a
be
little
more
bit.
no by a little bit. Dub, from my whatever, call it first year in college to my last year peak in college, my athletic ability, my vertical went up insane because I worked on it.
What was the number?
I went from barely touching the rim to being able to windmill because I
was it?
worked on my
What
vertical.
was the number?
I don't know what the number was. I can't remember it.
So,
it was
yes, that's-
something in the 30s, like
It
low
was
30s probably,
And then what did it go to?
because it was in the 20s, and then it went to like low 30s.
It was in the 20s. Now it's in the low 30s. Like
Not
once it's
now.
20.
It's probably like
No,
12
because
now.
I'm not saying that you can't work on it, bro. But to sit here and say that a jumping ability, a physical attribute, is a skill,
Yeah,
is
you work on it.
ridiculous to me. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's a skill. That's why in 2K when you're increasing your skill attributes, jumping vertical is actually one of those skills.
Speed
Speed is not a skill.
Okay.
Jumping is not a skill. None
Let's
of
get
that
to these
shit
super
is a
chats.
skill,
Let's
Mars.
get to the
It's
super
the dumbest thing I've
Nah,
heard
let's
in
get
my
no,
life.
let's get to the guest first, man.
Okay,
It's
there's a lot of
athleticism,
super
bro.
chats in here. Cash, what's good, bro? This is the
What's up?
Cash, yes?
What's up?
Is it D-Cash,
Yeah,
bro? You
yeah.
tweeted us, yeah?
Yeah. That's me.
What's good, bro?
Yeah,
You
I'm
made
at
it.
college right now. Yeah, I just told the teacher I ain't coming. I have to be here.
Fire.
Yeah.
Had player's choice to attend to. That's
I
fire.
was watching one of the last episodes. I can't remember. It was when Ron was the host, and y'all was debating
L
Chris
host.
Paul again. And it was just, I don't know how you have Chris Paul top 3. I just don't know how you do it.
Top 3?
He barely made top 7 for me.
Who?
Oh,
Okay,
no,
let's hear everyone that you have in front of him. Let's start there.
Again, all right, we're going to do this again. Magic, Curry, Westbrook. This is not in order, by the way. This is just me
That's
saying
fine.
the names.
That's fine. Just 7 names
Westbrook,
or 6
Jason
names.
Kidd, Oscar. That's 6. No, that's 5.
One more.
Damn, what did I say the last time? Because I don't want to switch up what I said the last time. I forgot who I said.
Steve Nash.
Did I say Steve Nash?
You better have said Steve Nash if you're saying Jason Kidd.
Okay, then I'll take your word for it, Steve Nash. And then Chris Paul like right here.
Y'all really pissing me off today. I
You think
swear
Chris
to
Paul's
God.
better than John Stockton? That's tough.
I don't know. John Stockton, I don't really know too much about him besides he passes the ball a lot. So I ain't even going to do that to Chris Paul.
Sounds like Chris Paul, to be honest.
Listen, bro.
Chris-
Honestly, bro, I'm gonna just be real with you. To sit here and say that Chris Paul is not undeniably top 3 is ridiculous to me.
I
Because
can deny it very good. I'll tell you.
and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna walk you down the list. I already
Uh-huh.
mentioned last episode. CP3 is one of the most complete point guards of all time. Correct? There's no weakness in
No.
his game. What?
You said injuries is a weakness. If he can't stay healthy,
Oh,
how is
okay.
he top
If
3?
No, if you want to knock him for injuries, that's cool. That's cool and everything. But I'm assuming with him all healthy. If you're gonna knock him
Okay.
for injuries, I have nothing to argue with you about.
Okay.
Are you gonna knock him for injuries?
That's one of the things I knocked him for, but go ahead.
Okay.
that's tough.
When we look at his career, what he's done, you know, mainly in the postseason. 2008, he lost to the Spurs. 2009, he lost to the Nuggets. He played bad. 2011, he lost to the Lakers with a Carl Landry as his second best guy. He lost to the Spurs and he played bad in 2012. He lost to the
Yeah.
Grizzlies in 2013 and Blake Griffin got hurt in Game 5 and Game 6. He lost in 2014 to the Thunder and he played and he actually played really well. Well, he just lost.
Whoa,
to
he
the
choked. He
Durant.
choked in that series.
No, he didn't choke in that series. How did he choke?
Everyone remembers what happened in that OKC series.
This is what I was talking about.
What did he do?
I want to say it was game 4 or game 5. People who watch the series and aren't reading Basketball Reference will know what happened in that series.
Okay, then you got 2014, 2015 loses to the Rockets. He gets hurt in Game 4. They blow a 3-1 lead. 2016 he loses to the Blazers.
Wait. What was the injury against the Rockets? What was his injury?
CP3 got hurt. I don't remember the injury though.
I don't remember him being hurt. I remember him being at all them games and losing. That's what I
No,
remember.
he got hurt in Game 4. He did not. He only played 4 games in that series, and they blew a 3-1 lead because he wasn't there. In 2016, he lost to the Blazers when they had a 2-0 lead. Him and Blake Griffin got hurt. In 2017, he lost to the Utah Jazz. Blake Griffin gets hurt in Game 3.
I remember that. Okay.
All I'm saying is that you're not going to sit here and penalize this guy for not making a title, not being a title contender because of what, injuries? Because majority of the time, besides 2014,
So what happened in the finals?
2012.
What happened in the finals?
Yeah, but this is an old CP3, like, out of his prime. It's not the same CP3. The fact that he made it to the finals at such an older age is actually impressive.
It wasn't off his own strength though, because he sat out
For sure.
because of COVID when they played the Nuggets. Like the last few games of the Nuggets and the first few games of the Clippers. So he really had rest to really sit there. If he played all of that, they wasn't winning against the Clippers.
No,
I
I
don't think
agree.
so.
I don't think the Suns would have made the playoffs. But I still think that this isn't CP3 in his peak or in his prime. This is CP3 exiting
So
his prime.
where do you have the Suns this season coming up? Where do you place them at least going?
They'll be top 5.
Top 5, okay.
Mhm.
I just
All
feel
I-
like every time Chris Paul loses, it comes up, oh, he's injured. Patrick Beverly said that too. Watch
I
the
mean,
injuries
those
come up.
are just the facts, though. I mean, when I just read down the whole entire list, those are the facts. I mean, in 2018, he got hurt. I mean, these are the facts
So-
that's happened. We can't just ignore the facts.
What was the injury against Dallas this year? That made him lose by 50 points.
Well, this is a CP3 out of his prime, though.
No.
I mean, I understand you guys want to hold that against him, but damn, CP3 is out of his prime. This isn't the same CP3 that we're used to, bro. And I would sit here and say that. And sit here to hold that against him, bro. I mean, it's just kind of unfair because we don't look at
Because
older players
you
and
using
expect
his
them to be
age
the same
now.
way.
And I'll be wrong to use his age against him now. Because when he goes off and has his little 40 points, it's, oh, Chris Paul is all this. But when he loses, oh, he's old, you know.
Well,
You
I
know.
wasn't high on Chris Paul the whole entire year. If you've been watching the show, I wasn't high on CP3 at all.
true.
I thought that Trae Young was a better player. I didn't think that CP3 was the same way that he played in years past. I think when people was overrating him and the impact that he had on the Suns, not giving enough credit for the way that the Suns were playing basketball. So CP3, I acknowledge that CP3 is worse than he has in his whole entire career.
So, let me see. Damn, I forgot what I was going to say.
Maybe you need to go to class, Cash.
No, sure. I ain't going. I told him I ain't coming.
No, I'm just saying though, like a CP3 where there's essentially no flaws in his game besides injuries, bro.
So he's top 3 only because he's a better scorer than everybody else besides Magic and Curry.
No, he's more complete than everybody else. He could play make, he could defend, he could score, he could do everything. He scores better than John Stockton. He scores better than Jason Kidd. He plays defense better than Steve Nash. He plays defense better than who's the other guy? Who's the other guy you brought up?
He plays defense better than
Oscar.
Steph Curry as well.
Steph Curry and Magic Johnson.
So then why is he not over both of them?
Well, shit.
He probably plays better than Steph as well.
He plays better defense than Magic?
No cap.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, 100%.
100?
A million%.
I didn't watch Magic. I wasn't even a twinkle in the eye, so I can't even argue.
I just think that there's this false stigma. I just think there's this false stigma about CP3 being a choker when that's not the case. It's really not. I mean, let's not forget they were about to beat the best team in a lot of people's eyes in NBA history, but he got hurt.
I can't even guarantee that. That's a big what if right there. I can't.
I mean, it's a what if the Golden State Warriors win as well. So I mean,
it's a what if we won.
But it is a what if because if CP3 was there, we don't know what was going to happen.
Well, he was there the second time, and they lost in 6.
It's a what if still. Because if CP3 was there, do we know what's going to happen? No.
He was there the next year.
Yeah, CP3 would play that.
I can tell you that they probably
that was one
of
the worst years of CP3's life, bro.
So he was good in 2018, became bad in 2019, then got good again.
No, 2019 he was hurt for the whole entire year, which is why he struggled so much. And then he was never the same way. 2018 was probably his last year where I'll say he was close to his prime. That was his last best year. I don't look at.
So you think his last year in Houston was worse? Well, obviously it was, but you think he was terrible that last year in Houston, then got good when he went to OKC?
No, I think he got healthy.
Oh, shit. I ain't gonna argue that one. I just don't think he's top 3. Like, if you ain't there to play, I can't put you based off of
If you're gonna argue that, I mean, it's cool with me, bro. But I mean, he made it to the final. I mean, I get it.
Where do you rank? Where do you rank Anthony Davis?
Among all power forwards?
Yeah.
It wasn't until last season I thought Giannis, I just started saying Giannis was better than him. I'm not gonna lie. It was 2 years ago, I would say. It's about 2 years.
But didn't you say that you hold injury against CP3 and
that's why Anthony Davis ain't up there no more.
Oh, okay.
Wait, he's number 2 still?
Wait, what about Kawhi Leonard?
Who else would be number 2? Pascal Siakam?
I don't know.
Can't be Zion. Draymond's been hurt.
Pascal Siakam is dirt to me. I don't know. He's whack.
Where do you guys rank Kawhi Leonard all time?
Dirt.
I watch Pascal Siakam just do that Beyblade spin all the time, and then he got his little jumpers and shit. I don't know. He ain't that good to me.
Where does Kawhi Leonard rank all time for you?
All time? I ain't gonna lie, that Toronto ring has a lot of weight to me. Because ain't nobody ever went to a team 1 year and just left like that after winning. Not to my knowledge.
But he's been hurt every other year. And he blew a 3-1 lead when he was healthy.
You see? You're the first person I heard say that about Kawhi, that he blew a 3-1 lead. It's always Paul George's fault that he blew the 3-1 lead. It's never Kawhi's fault.
Kawhi needs to take responsibility for that. Game 7 was
he was bad in that game 7.
I just think that bubble was a bad time. I ain't gonna say that if it wasn't the bubble they would have won, but that just was a bad time for that team. Not gonna lie. But Kawhi all time for me is top 20. Just off of that Toronto ring.
Do you knock him off for the and this is my point, just because of that.
I'm knocking for how he.
If CP3 won a ring, you wouldn't be knocking him. And that's the point that I just.
Because he's supposed to win a ring. When he was in the finals, everybody said that he was supposed to beat Giannis. That's what people that I know were saying. He was supposed to win that series. That was his series to win, because he ain't going back to the finals. He's gonna retire without a ring.
Yeah, I know he is. That's what I said.
Unless he go to Golden State.
Not many point guards get rings, especially in that.
Unless he go to Golden State and sit on the bench or some shit, he ain't winning no ring.
But you're comparing him to guys that don't have rings, though. Like, you
don't
didn't
got
say
rest?
Magic or Steph. You mentioned Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, but Jason Kidd won at an older age, bro. So if we're gonna be real with that, like that just lacks context.
I mean, wasn't that whole team old? Like 2011 Dallas, wasn't that not the whole team, but like wasn't they on like the
They were
older
older,
side?
but they played amazing basketball together.
Yeah, Jason
Yeah,
Kidd, like he was still good, but
that that
yeah.
that that Maverick team is the reason I don't have LeBron as the GOAT. Not gonna lie,
That's
but
fine.
that's another topic.
Tough. That is tough.
Yeah.
All right, Cash.
All right.
We're gonna get somebody else up here, but we appreciate you tapping in. Glad that you were able to join us.
Super
All
chats
right,
first.
no problem.
We're gonna do some super
All
chats. All right.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to like come off like, man, like fuck the super chats. That's of course not
No,
what I'm trying to say.
hey, especially when
What I-
these super chats are going to a good cause, and I wanted to bring that up again because we didn't mention that since the top of the show. All super chats are going to Jaylen Spectrum. This is the foundation that Dell started for his son with autism. He has a bike ride this Saturday, trying to raise money to just continue his work with autism in his communities and wherever really he can spread the word and educate those on autism. So today's show it's for a special cause. There, if you want to donate directly to Jaylen Spectrum, there is a link pinned at the top of the YouTube comments. We're gonna again drop that in the comments after the show. For audio listeners, that is in the description as well. We've raised so far this show $62 just in super chats, and who knows how many people have donated directly to the foundation. So thank you to everyone who's been super chatting, and thank you to those who have donated to the foundation. Let's start with drink more water, which you should drink more water.
For sure.
How would AI differentiate between grabbing a rebound versus catching a pass over someone's head? What about the difference between a steal and a pass? AI doesn't have a mind of its own. It needs a pattern. So, bro, here's the thing. I don't know how to do it, but that doesn't mean it can't be done. I'm not the person.
mean,
I'm
you
not
have
the
to-
expert.
A rebound, the
when
ball
you-
comes off the rim or the backboard. So
Yeah, but I mean, there's loose
But
ball
the
rebounds
rebound-
too. You know what I
the
mean?
rebound
So,
comes-
but what I'm saying is that you can implement like in the coding, right? You can write in different rules. Like, you know, it's based off of like the rules that you put in, and for the AI to pick up and like count some shit. Whatever. I'm just saying it's like you can have a rule in there, like Mars said, if it comes off the rim. Like, you know, we're talking about the height at which the ball is, you know, being picked up at. That very obviously becomes then a rebound. Now, if the pass is high, you know what I mean? For example, like if an alley-oop is thrown, right? That could be confused as an offensive rebound, but, you know, that's why you have humans in, you know what I mean, in the back fixing the error if an error is being made, in my opinion. But I'm not a coder. I don't know.
Right.
Listen, the way that the ball can bounce off the rim is ridiculous.
Jonathan Peralta. They send 18-year-olds to war. Also, if they weren't ball players, will you tell anyone to do 1 year of college? Tennis go pro at 14, soccer go pro at 12, Luca at 14. You got to cut it out. That's a good point.
Yes, I agree.
That is a very good point.
I agree.
I agree as well.
That fucking mind boggled me, bro. When I was contracting for the military, dog, I was in Kuwait, right? And in Qatar. Dog, I had a fucking kid in my office. Like, he must have been like 5'7", probably like 120 pounds, carrying a rifle that was like half his size. That shit was mind-boggling to me. And of course, he can't vote, he can't drink, but we can send him overseas to pop a bullet in somebody's head. Like, that shit crazy to me. So yeah, when we talking about basketball, bro, let these little kids do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that other sports didn't have like the 18-year-old thing. I thought that was just kind of cast broadly across all sports.
I mean,
So-
it's a ploy to like boost, you know what I mean, the money making in academia.
college, right?
Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what are they going to do? Like, look at all this money that they're losing out on. If everybody was like, yo, number one, fuck the tuition and all the other stuff. Of course, you know, these are scholarship players, but whatever. But Kuwait is safe. Yes, Kuwait is very safe, especially for Americans because they're the ones that liberated them from the Iraqis. I know this. What I'm saying is, like, this was a forward base. I was on Camp Ali Salem, and, you know what I mean, during the time that I was there, I was in Afghanistan. The Afghanistan war was popping off, so all the soldiers that was there, everybody was still equipped, and they were flying over and doing their thing and coming back, and you know what I mean? So don't just take everything face value that I say. There's context that I'm leaving out because I don't want to give you my fucking life story, but, bro, don't come in the chat making me look like I'm fucking stupid, bro.
Bossman Johnson. Mars said multiple times how he defines playmaker. Bossman Johnson also said, how you disagree after JD read out the definition. We will not get back into that, so we'll move on. Dub is high as hell. He's hurting my head. Fire, KG Son. Bossman Johnson with another super chat. Bossman Johnson really supporting the cause today. We appreciate you, Bossman. Dub, do you know the definition of the word skill?
Yeah, and the skill, where y'all define skill is fucking stupid.
Well, this is the definition from KG Son. Skill is the ability to do something well.
Wait.
While you're looking for the definition, Z6BCM said top 5 nastiest things Mars has ever said.
That's why I said. Why do you think I said jumping is a skill? Because that's something you could do something well. So technically, you would say that a skill. Talking is a skill. Reading is a skill. Fucking typing a fucking keyboard on this shit is a skill. Everything in life is a skill, and I don't think that could be applied to basketball. I think you need to be able to separate that, because essentially we're not even having to talk about who's a more skilled player. We're talking about having to talk of who's the most complete player, which is just ridiculous to me.
Eric Dupree, y'all still bringing people on? Yes, we are. Boom. Jeremiah, are you with us? He's muted and it's black screen, so I'm not sure if he threw his phone and ran away or what, but wanted to try. All right, we'll remove him for now and see if he shows his face. Jay Boogie. Jay Boogie, what's up, man?
What's up with y'all? Can y'all hear me?
How you doing, bro? Yes, sir.
Okay. First, I got to Dub, you're nasty. Jumping isn't a skill, though.
Jumping wait, how the hell am I? Wait, am I nasty because I said jumping isn't a skill, or you're agreeing that jumping isn't a skill?
No, you're nasty for saying jumping isn't a skill.
Yeah, it's your physical capability, bro. It's an attribute. It's your athleticism.
Well, I'm a high jumper actually in college.
Hey, yo, here we go. Let's go.
So my freshman year, I was jumping 6'6", but then by the end of the year, I was jumping 6'10". So how do I improve that if my vertical has stayed the same?
And what do you jump now?
Right now, I'm jumping 6'10", 6'11".
6'10", 6'11", and you was jumping 6'6".
Crazy.
Yeah.
Now is that a dramatic? I don't know if that's a dramatic increase. Is that a dramatic increase?
Yeah.
And he said his vertical stayed the same. That's key.
Yeah. And getting an inch in high jump, it's like you need to have everything right. You have to work on your timing. You have to work on your lean. You got to work on getting your plyometrics, getting your stamina up. You have to do all these things to get the perfect jump. And
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying because I can agree with that. The thing is, what I'm saying is that to try to apply that on the basketball court, I'm just not trying to do that. Of course, I would sit here and say, yes, you're jumping in, like talking skills, speaking skills, you have reading skills. Everything in life is a skill. I do acknowledge that. I'm not going to be ignorant of that. But when I'm sitting here and we're having these basketball conversations, we're having these basketball talks, I'm not going to sit here and apply that same way of thinking to basketball world because I just don't think it's something that's comparable. You feel what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
I could say that somebody reading down and breaking defenses is a crazy skill.
It is a skill, though.
I agree.
You're better at that than someone else is making it.
Dub, do you think Vince Carter would be as good of a basketball player if he didn't have his vertical ability?
You said what?
Do you think Vince Carter would be as good of a basketball player as he was if he did not have his vertical leap?
Nah, yeah, he was more than just a jumper, bro. You know that, right?
But would he be as good?
No, I mean, if you take a lot of physical capabilities, like if LeBron James isn't as strong, he's not as good as he is. If you take away, like, is LeBron's strength, is that a skill?
Yeah, you get stronger.
Is LeBron's strength a skill?
I don't know that strength is a skill.
Strength is a skill according to you guys. So why are you changing up now? His speed is his skill.
I still think it's a skill.
Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
I could seriously say it's a skill.
Getting stronger is a skill for sure, but just saying like strength is strength. Getting stronger, increasing your vertical leap.
Why can't I say jump is jumping? You can increase your strength.
Jumping is jumping, but the skill of increasing your vertical.
There's multiple things that go into jumping. Like we say Dennis Rodman is the best rebounder, but like he had a great timing with his jumps. He didn't have the highest vertical, but his timing was impeccable. which made him a really good rebounder. So in turns, he's a good jumper as well.
No, he's amazing. Like, I give that to you. I just don't. When I'm looking at it, I'm looking at it as more as your physical ability and your physical attribute, and of course you can improve upon that. But as I said before, bro, when I'm applying that to the court, bro, I just don't see that as a skill on the basketball court.
How many skills are there in basketball?
What Dell says. I agree with everything that Dell says.
How many is there?
It's offensive.
No, that's not answering. I'm asking for a number, not.
I don't know a number, Mars. I mean, the way
you know what you count as skills, so count them out and tell me.
Your dribble variations, your shooting touch, and things like that.
Shooting.
That's your skills.
2 skills.
Sure.
Dribbling and shooting.
Yes.
Okay. So there's 2 skills in basketball. When you talk about most skilled players,
when I'm talking about most skilled, bro, it has everything to do with their offensive package and what they can do with the ball. You want to say hezzy, tween?
No,
tween.
so
yes,
when you look at most skilled players, you look at dribbling and shooting.
Pretty much.
So who's the most skilled player in the NBA?
Right now, probably Kyrie.
Is he the best shooter in the NBA?
No.
Who's the best shooter in the NBA?
Steph.
Is he the best dribbler in the NBA?
Yes.
Who's closer? Okay, so now I'll do this. Where does Steph rank in dribbling in the NBA?
Steph is very skilled as well. Like Steph is up there with Kyrie.
That's not answering my question. Where does he rank as a dribbler in the NBA?
Top 3.
He's probably right behind. Behind Kyrie.
He's probably second as a dribbler.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where does Kyrie rank shooting the basketball in the NBA?
I don't know.
Okay, so Steph's the best shooter in the NBA, the second best dribbler in the NBA, and Kyrie's the best dribbler in the NBA, and maybe a top 10 shooter in the NBA. Why is he more skilled than Steph?
Because he have more variety than Stephen Curry.
Variety in what? Shooting?
Dribbling.
Okay, and who has more variety shooting the ball? Is it Kyrie as well?
It's probably one and the same. Steph has variety is like how many things you can do well. It's not who does it better.
I know.
So Kyrie, yeah. So
it's just about how many things you can do, not about the quality of what you do.
For sure.
Quantity over quality, baby.
So KD's not skilled.
Bucks out approach, you know what I mean?
So KD's not skilled because KD has about 2 moves.
Crank these clips out.
2 moves, bro?
He has the tween hezzy pull up.
And what about his post fade? What about his 3-point shot? What about his mid-range shooting? What about all of those?
His 3-point shot, I was talking about dribbling, not shooting. Dribbling the ball, KD has 2 moves.
But it's also the scoring that he does as well, bro.
How many moves does KD have dribbling the ball that he goes to regularly?
No. The dribbling I give you, but then what about in the variety of ways that he can score the ball? I include that as well.
Shooting the ball. Not
shooting the ball, scoring the ball, laying up the ball, dunking the ball.
So now layups are skills as well now.
Yeah, the variety in which you
just
lay the
told me
ball up.
dribbling and shooting.
Bro, you're asking me to give you a number. I'm telling you scoring, shooting. Like
you said dribbling and shooting.
These
so
are
the
not
number was 2.
No,
so now are we adding
no,
layups
because
to
this is not something I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the way you score the ball, dribbling, and things like that. Mars, you're asking me for a number where that's not something I think about, bro. I don't think about.
You said dribbling and shooting. I asked you many times, are you sure that's it? And you said yes.
Bro,
and now you're telling me it's layups.
I'm not sitting here and thinking about what the fuck this question is, bro. Honestly.
So layups are a skill now as well.
Scoring the ball and dribbling. That's it.
So
that's
scoring
skill.
and dribbling.
Scoring and dribbling, yes. And there's a lot of factors that goes into
Who's better at scoring, Steph or Kyrie?
You're gonna be mad at me, bro. You're gonna be mad at me.
Say it, Dub.
So Kyrie's
You're gonna be mad at me.
Say it, Dub.
Mad at me. You're gonna be mad at me, bro.
So Kyrie's a better scorer than Steph.
Mars on your head, Dub.
You're gonna be mad at me.
Say it, Dub.
I might. Yeah. Fuck yes.
Okay. So
Kyrie's a better scorer. Kyrie's a better scorer than Steph for sure.
Who's the best scorer of all time?
Ooh. Probably Kobe.
And then who?
KD. Then MJ.
So MJ is the 3rd best scorer of all time.
Mhm. They're in that top group.
But you think Michael Jordan's better than Kobe Bryant?
Yes.
But he's a worse scorer than Kobe Bryant.
They're in the same realm. They're in the same tier.
That's cool. That's fine. But you think Kobe is worse than him?
Not really. I think they're just one and the same. Kobe has a 3-point.
Mars, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get him caught up. You're not going to do it. He's not going to fold.
You're not going to do it, motherfucker. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Yo, hey, while we got Jay
He
Boogie
did
up
the
here.
Kevin Hart shit. He said, pew, pew, pew. Hey, I got a question for our guest, though.
Yeah.
I'm reading Sports Doc's comment in the chat, and he said, so if your verticals stayed the same, did you improve your skill or your physical attributes?
More of the skill of jumping. So like getting over the bar, the timing, when to take off, and things like that. Because
So, like, is there a time where you, like, let's say you hit a wall, right, and you, like, at a certain height, you can't clear it, and then instead of working on your, like, you know, your physical attributes, like, you know, like working on, you know what I mean, like doing weight, like strength conditioning stuff, you only work on technique, and you finally get over that hump? Is that what you're referring to?
yeah. So like just like more on my freshman year. So I stayed at 6'6", and I finally got 6'8" in the middle of the season. And then after working on my technique and practicing only jumping 6'6", after just all the training, when conference came, like championships, is when I jumped 6'10". And it's just from all the overworking, from all the drills that we were doing, and all the things that I was studying. It helped me get over that hump.
Fire.
But like my vert has gone up though since then. But I'm just talking about in that year though. Just in that year.
Right. So what's your vert?
I have a 38.
And what's your height? How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
That's pretty short? Not to like clown or anything, but that's pretty short for a high jumper though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very short. Like your Olympic high jumpers are like 6'3", 6'4". Like the tallest high jumper ever was like 6'9". So
was that the Cuban guy, Sotomayor?
He was 6'3". He was 6'3".
Oh shit! See,
so
I don't know what I'm talking about.
He wasn't like extremely tall, but he had bunnies. Yeah, he definitely had bunnies.
Yeah. What school you going to?
Utah Valley. I'm in Utah.
Okay.
Are you?
Yeah, I got it on right here. Shout out to Utah.
I don't know how track and field works, so I might ask dumb questions. So forgive me. Are you ranked?
No. 6'10" will like get you in like the top 50 in the region. So like there's the West region and the East region. So nationally, I'll be like in like the 80s and to 100s with 6'10".
Like 80 to 100 out of all high jumpers that compete in collegiate. That's crazy. Because surely there's thousands of.
If you think about it, it's kind of a little more difficult because there's a bunch of people that could jump 6'10".
Sure.
Like the people that go to like nationals, you need to be in the top 24, which they do 12 and 12. So you have to be top 12 in the West and top 12 in the East.
Right.
And like to make it, so like I'm usually on the bubble. So like if you jump 7 feet, you'll go to regions. If you jump like 7'3", 7'4", you'll win it.
In what year are you right now? Freshman still?
Senior. I'm a senior now.
Okay, got you. What
So
are you?
Where do you play at? I mean, where do you run at or jump at? My bad.
He just told you.
It's called Utah Valley University.
Okay.
Yeah, it's out in Utah. But yeah, so
Dub is flexing his listening skills.
Do you?
in Utah.
Do you have like aspirations of
reading something
of
competing post college?
Like, it just really depends on how my senior year goes. So it kind of got like backtracked because after my freshman year, after I jumped 6'10", I actually tore my Achilles. So like I've been out for like a year and a half. I just started getting back into it. So I'm starting to jump back where I used to be at 6'10". So if I could get to 7'1", 7'2", I'll think about going professional. But the professional route in track is pretty difficult because it's really on your own. Like you have to sponsor everything for yourself. If you're not getting sponsored, you have to pay everyone that is on your team. It's kind of difficult though. The track route in the Americas, at least. Europe, they set you up pretty well in Europe with track.
That's dope though, man. The fact that you're competing collegiately, it's an accomplishment, man, for sure.
Good luck in the future, bro.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, best of luck, man.
Yeah, thanks for tapping in with us.
Yo, I love the show.
Thank you, Jay Boogie. Appreciate you.
You be easy, bro.
Take it.
Damn, you can't let him say guy. Bye, bro.
My
Jesus.
bad, bro.
LD,
Get DJ
bro.
in here.
Yo,
My
what's
bad.
up?
DJ, what's
What
up, bro?
up?
Hey, y'all can hear me and everything?
Yes,
Sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. First, I want to comment on what Dale is doing. So my girlfriend, she actually works with like a few kids with autism, and I say like they're really cool to be around. Really sweet. The ones that she worked with, like when you're around them, it just put a smile on your face. To like, cause they're like very smart. So, I applaud what he's doing. It's very cool.
Dub.
Fire.
The second thing I want to say is, I don't know if y'all touched on it, like going to the league when you're 18. Do y'all think like Zion needed college? I feel like college needed Zion more than he needed Duke.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree too.
I think he's an example where it's probably not as glaring. Like I think it didn't hurt him as much as other players who were NBA ready. So I don't think he lost out like tremendously by going to Duke, but I definitely think that he would have been, just as good or maybe even a little bit further at this point in his career in the pros if he hadn't gone to Duke.
For sure. And another thing, like what do y'all have LeBron ranked all time in scoring? Considering that he's gonna pass Kareem next year, I believe, right?
Yeah. I think he's underrated, number one, for that reason. And so, I mean, if we just go on by the numbers, he is at least top two, all right? What are you talking about? Well, are you talking about like just his skill and like just him as a scoring threat in any situation?
Yeah, him as like just him like scoring like on all levels, like considering that he's like going to be like number one. Like, doesn't that like make him at least like top two, top three? Because I heard Mars, I believe you just mentioned your top three. You didn't say LeBron, so I was asking.
I have LeBron as my second best scorer of all time behind MJ.
Second? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know because I look at guys who may be coming off the bench as better scorers than like a LeBron James, for example, or just anybody that we would say, is a starter and they get a whole bunch of buckets. Like I think Jamal Crawford is all the way up there. I think Lou Williams is all the way up there, because they're a threat literally from anywhere. Dame, I think, is all the way up there when we're just talking about you give them the rock, are they a threat and can they get a bucket from anywhere? Can they finish on the inside, mid-range, like three ball, but also even stepping way beyond 3-point line. So I like guys like that, in the conversation, but that typically falls on deaf ears, and so I never really make mention of it like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have LeBron that high on my list.
You don't.
Like I
you said it. Just
Yeah, I
admit
don't.
it. Yeah,
I don't.
don't need to.
I don't have him that high on my list. I
There
really
you go.
don't. But just be real. Like,
Wait, where do you have him? Yeah, where do you have him, DJ?
LeBron top two. No, once he passed, I say top two for sure.
So Kareem's your number one.
No, I got MJ. MJ,
Oh, okay,
MJ
got you.
And then
where does
LeBron
Kareem rank?
Top four. I have LeBron. No, I have MJ, LeBron, Kobe, Kareem.
Not
Is
bad.
KD 5?
Yeah, KD 5. Yep.
So wait,
Nice.
LeBron's a better scorer than KD?
I believe he is.
Why?
Because it's ability to do everything. So transition, mid range, going to the rack. I feel like he a better all around scorer than KD.
DJ,
I've
you
never heard that before.
DJ, you're a gamer, aren't you?
I never heard mid range to say
Yeah,
that.
I played a game a little bit. 2K.
You playing the new 2K?
Yeah, 2K20.
How is it?
It's cool. I feel like it's one of the best ones they released in a few years since 17, I believe.
Those VC prices not bothering.
Yeah, the VC price is crazy, man.
How much is it now?
You gotta spend at least $100 to keep up like with the attributes and stuff. So yeah, it's crazy.
It's a ripoff. That's tough.
It's all about that money right now, bro. They doing smart, bro. They smart. You got dummies that pay. You got dummies that pay for it, and then everybody got to catch the dummies to keep grinding to become a legend and stuff. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't do that, man.
You're
You're
one
a
of
grinder.
those guys that be grinder.
No, I
Grinding?
don't. I'm not. If I'm not screaming, I'm not grinding. So I gotta make at least some money from it, or like get a following for it.
Got you. Wait, do you stream?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say shout out your stream, but that's dope. Just play a little casually on the side. Man. Yes, sir. DJ, thank you for tapping in, brother.
Yeah. See you.
All right. Who's next? Let's get Ace Sturdy in here. I'm guarantee Ace Sturdy's coming for Dub. Guarantee it. Calling it right now.
No, me and Ace Sturdy got a good relationship. Don't lie.
Ace Sturdy, are you coming for the headshot on Dub or what?
Man, I bet headshotting everybody in here, bro. I'm headshot you. I headshotted Euro, and I headshotted Mars.
Headshotted me what, bro?
What? You lied. You lied.
Right? Yo, you got a knife in your hand? I don't think Ace Sturdy's mic's working. We'll let Ace Sturdy fix his mic and then he'll hit us.
Dub, man.
EJ, what's good, bro?
Good, fellas. You know, hear me?
How you doing? Yes, sir.
Chilling. Oh no, but I got a couple complaints. Well, I'll start with Dub first. Dub, man, Dub, we gotta talk for a second, my boy. How do you personally define skill?
Scoring. I mean, I thought I answered this already. I thought I answered this already. I was just confused. I thought I answered this already.
Right, go ahead, bro.
Like you're scoring, the variety in which you score, the variety of layups, the variety of like post moves, the variety of shooting splits. I mean, shooting touches, like variety of dribble moves, like all of that. It's all variety. That's all it is.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a list of guys, and you tell me if they're better skilled players over the other.
I like this.
Okay. Damian Lillard or Paul George?
Oh, that's tough, though.
Starting out with some heat.
Nah, that's tough as hell.
Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. Paul George, he's smooth as hell. Like, I was watching his old OKC, like 2018, 2019 highlights like yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Whew, that boy was smooth, boy. Like, oh my God, the way he would just get into the rack, the mid range, hitting the three. Nah, but Dame though, that boy can bomb too.
Nah, they're both. Yeah, nah, I agree with you, bro. I might lean more towards Dame, but I don't know, bro. That's tough. That's a tough one. I don't know. Because PG's wild. I like PG's game a lot. I'll stick with Dame. I love Dame.
What about the rest of y'all?
I'll take Paul George.
Damian Lillard.
Taking him for what? Like
in terms of like in terms of skill, like your offensive bag.
PG.
Oh, we're doing skill by Dub's definition. Oh
yeah.
Paul George.
Yeah.
Okay, bet. So bigger scoring bag, Paul George or Carmelo Anthony? Like prime Carmelo Anthony.
Melo.
Where's the handles?
Melo.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bro, that one is very tough.
That was tough.
That was
I want to say Melo like off rip though. Like listen, don't get me wrong, Denver Melo was crazy, but damn, I feel like you discounted PG a little bit.
Nah, it's just when I think that PG has him on like the dribble moves and stuff, but I think like Melo's post moves, his isolation scoring is like it's like ridiculous.
Bro, that one's so tough because you'll take either or. Like,
and we're talking like Melo in his prime, like.
But we're talking about Paul George in his prime. So
yeah, no, but well, I guess the question is, if you look at the offensive bag, who was closer to being an MVP?
Nah, I don't look at it like that.
Yeah, I don't care about
PG.
MVP.
PG was close to being MVP because of the defense he was providing as well, not just his scoring.
Bro, I think I'll take Paul George over Carmelo.
Yeah, I'm taking Paul George. I understand.
That's a tough one. You got some good ones. Do you have these written down? Where are you pulling these
I do not.
Keep going. I like this.
I just listen. I listen to y'all religiously. Honestly, y'all give me ideas for stuff that I talk to my friends about, and they're like, "Oh shit, bro! Like Like, these are some cool ass people. I'm just like, yeah, but y'all should subscribe to Player Choice.
Hey, let's go. Word of mouth. This is the best marketing,
y'all
man.
dope as hell, bro. Like honestly, like y'all's conversation. Even though Mars doesn't think that AI could be a top 5 player today, but I let that one slide.
All right, Mars appreciates that.
Who's more skilled, AI or Kyrie?
AI.
Really?
Well, the thing is, listen, and I'm taking your health into account as well. In terms of his availability.
Well, wait. Health is not a skill, though.
Yes, it is, because you can always improve your health. You liar! Now you're lying. Now you're lying.
Dub's definition.
Hey, technically, Dub's not wrong. You can improve your health,
but you can't improve. Here's the thing. Of course, if you stop it, Dub. You can't improve your health in terms of like nutritional value and shit like that. But you can help if a physical, like if a force is like hitting your knee and then that shit like gets obliterated.
Right.
Now, once you're injured, of course you can do things to improve your health and like get back to how you were before. But Dub, stop it, bro.
You know you could do that. You want to know how?
Dub, you are terrible at being a devil's advocate.
You're putting your body. I'm not gonna sound like Ticket.
Yeah.
I was
get off that real quick.
No, I'm not gonna be like Ticket. I was not.
Hey, speaking of Ticket, hey, listen, I ain't gonna lie. The only reason I even like found y'all's channel is because I was subscribed to Ticket TV. If y'all want to know a little fun fact about Ticket, I don't know if y'all know, but this man used to be a huge KD dick rider. I mean, he was in love with Kevin Durant when he was on Golden State, and the year before Giannis won the chip. He was actually calling Kevin Durant the best player in the world back in 2021.
We got to clip this and send it to Dell.
Because I know Dell would love that. I know him. Because, listen, I'm like, because honestly, I thought when y'all brought him on, I thought y'all knew about y'all knew about Ticket. But with Ticket, I ain't going to lie, he switches up a lot to make his point. But when you try to back him into a corner on that point, he'll say, oh, no. I didn't say that. I'm saying that this player said that, and I'm just speaking for him. And I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, you just try to use that as a point. Like, what you mean? And now you're trying to backtrack it. So I don't know. That's weird. But it's weird how we slanders KD now. I don't know if it was this series that just made him jump off the bandwagon, but
it was.
We'll ask him. We'll ask him.
He said that. I remember that. He was like, nah, Dub, I used to look at KD the way you do. But guess what happened? He got walked down by Jason Tatum. He got forward swept by Jason Tatum, Boston Celtics. And I just can't do it anymore. I just can't.
Well, there it is.
And now he's behind Kevin McHale.
Now he's behind Kevin McHale and Stephen Curry.
No, but how you move him that far down? Because Ticket had him in the top 15 prior. So, like, and this is the thing, like, with Dub, this is what I kind of get. I don't see how you can move KD back that far in the rankings. Yes, I might joke to Dell about he's top 4, top 5 or whatever, but I don't see why his ranking should change just based off of one series. I think wherever you had him before, you either just keep him there or like
it's weird.
I don't get how a player can move back, like a current player can move back.
Yeah. I can see how you could rank because I can see how you could rank guys over someone else like Jimmy Butler, Luka, Jokic, Steph. Like, I can see how you could rank guys over, but I don't see how you could move someone back on the all-time list just because of like one bad series. I
mean, it's just a playoff P treatment that he's getting, but like let the season start again, and
they're gonna come back.
And him doing what he's doing, and I don't think. I mean.
Listen, they all gonna come back. Know, it's like clockwork, bro.
If I had to bet if KD's getting swept again in the first round, I'm gonna say no.
No, for sure, right.
Do y'all think they make the NBA Finals this year?
We'll see. I gotta see Simmons on the court first.
Honestly, I have no faith in Ben Simmons. I'm gonna just keep it a buck because let's be real. When Ben Simmons says his back was hurting because of stress, I ain't gonna lie, that man always gonna be stressed. So his back is always gonna bother him. So he's always gonna be on the injury list, meaning he's never gonna play. That's just how I see it.
Yeah, tough to
let's
say,
hope
but I think I got the Bucks right now before the season starts.
The Sixers are scaring me, bro.
Yeah,
No,
Sixers
the Sixers
are
are
nice
gonna be
too.
crazy.
Like there's a lot of nice teams in the East. I just think of if I'm gonna take a pick right now, I'm taking the Bucks right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just excited for the East to be good like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the
Agreed.
focus has typically been on the West for, a lot of the years and over
It
the
just
last
feels more
decade or two.
balanced. Feels more balanced.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like the West or the East is way better than the other conference. So I don't know. This is going to be a fun
I
season
can
of
see
basketball.
that. Definitely a lot more balanced. However, okay, so before I leave, I want to give y'all one hot take. I don't know if how y'all gonna look at me when I say this, but I ain't gonna lie. I think not this year, but next year, I think the Cavaliers can make the NBA Finals, and I'm also betting. I think that Evan Mobley has Mr. Fundamentals potential. I think he's got Tim Duncan in him.
Okay, your second take's not bad. The
I
first
think
one,
the second take is hotter than the first.
I think the first one's hotter. I mean, because when you're looking at somebody that far in the future, you really can't tell. And that brings me to, I was going to bring this up later. I'll bring this up in a second about another player comparison of somebody currently in the NBA, young guy. But I have the Cavs making playoffs and getting first rounded. So
Nah, bro, I see where you're going.
I think the second round. I think no. It depends.
I thought they were going to the finals.
No. Not this season. The next season. I
Oh.
can see them.
Yeah, next season. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
next
I
season.
thought you were talking about this year. Okay.
Oh yeah. But
That might not be that
listen,
crazy of a take.
That's what I'm saying. It's not hotter than saying Mobley's going to be like Duncan.
Yeah,
don't
it
think
is
that's
a
crazy,
semi-hot take, but I don't
Yeah,
think it's
but what
crazy
I'm saying
because
is, like,
he's
what's-
so young.
But what's more likely? Exactly. So, like, you don't know that. So, like, I think just making that assumption is crazy, especially because you're putting him up against an all-time great.
Right.
For most people, we're talking about the best power forward of all time.
Right.
And so, like, I think that is hotter than saying the Cavs with the roster that they do have, right? Not this year, but next year. Now they're learning chemistry. They're learning each other, whatever. The, front office is going to be able to make some tweaks. Everybody's going to want to join them because they have all this potential. And, of course, injuries can happen in their favor, to where, like, it just clears the path, and all of a sudden they're in the finals. So
I didn't do that, by the way.
Okay.
That's fire.
Yo,
Hey, there he is. Fix the mic.
yeah, salute everybody. Yo, JD, that's why you W host, because I was about to come in and roast Dub a little bit. I was.
I knew it.
This is ridiculous.
It's a bad EP for you, Dub. It's a real bad one.
Man, this is the best EP of my damn life. I'll stand on that, bro.
Nah, you had way better.
Nah, son, you got Mars capping over here, and y'all just running with it like.
Nah, Dub, you listen, Dub. Hold on, Dub.
JD,
Dub, for like
put a poll
20
up.
minutes
Who's winning
straight.
the episode?
Dub, for like 20 minutes straight, you was going back and forth with Mars on what is playmaking, and then when Mars asked you, can you list the skills in basketball? You didn't even use playmaking. You only said dribbling and shooting.
Yeah, bro, he asked me for a number, bro.
But you only said two.
Yeah,
You only said
bro.
two.
But then we clarified it later on. Like, this is not. If you ask me for a number for a skill in basketball, I'm not gonna sit here like, all right, what's the number in my head? I don't have that in my head.
But why did you hold on? But after 30 minutes of arguing about playmaking, why did you only say two things and none of them were playmaking as a skill?
What are we talking about? Playmaking? What do you mean?
All right, let me slow it more down for you. I understand, Doug. It's that type of day. I understand. When Mars asked you how many skills are there in basketball, you only listed two, and yet literally less than 2 minutes prior to him asking that question, you guys was going back and forth about the skill of playmaking. So,
wait. What do you mean the skill of playmaking? We were talking about in the ways and the people that can play make.
So,
right?
all right. So let me get straight to the point. Let me get straight to the point then.
Go ahead.
Is playmaking a skill?
I don't consider playmaking a skill. No.
Hey, yo.
So playmaking is not a skill. So what is playmaking, sir?
I don't look
What is
at playmaking. I told you, we already walked through this the whole entire time. I think your playmaking is your ability to be a pure point guard, but I rank that differently from skill in basketball. I don't look at skill, the definition of a skill in real life, and apply that to basketball. I look at skill more as your scoring and your dribbling package, because that's what I've been taught for my whole entire life.
Oh, okay. So when it comes to words, you limit the definition of words to benefit your argument. But let's move on.
No, that's not. How is that? Because I don't define playmaking the way that Mars is doing. Mars defines playmaking in the same exact way that is defined in real terms. I look at playmaking in basketball terms that I've been taught my whole entire life. That's not me picking and choosing to benefit my argument. That's me going with what I've been taught my whole entire life. So what are you even talking about?
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is you don't consider playmaking a skill, and yet the only skill in basketball is shooting and dribbling.
It's scoring the variety of ways you can score and dribble the ball. Yes, that's the way I look at it. That's the way I've been taught my whole entire life.
So there's no other skills. There's only two.
That's the way I've been taught my whole entire life. Yes, that's what I define it as.
When you learn basketball.
Growing up, watching the game, watching people on ESPN, watching people. My people who play the ball. I mean, the same way you learn basketball.
So out of 48 minutes a game, you watch basketball. You only take in, those guys only great at two skills, dribbling and shooting.
It's not. They could be great at more things, but not be skilled. I can see a guy's a great playmaker, a guy's a great defender, a guy's a great rim protector, a guy's a great scorer, a guy's a great passer. I can look at all of those things. I just classify skill differently. The thing that you're doing, you're trying to include skill in everything and thinking that.
Yeah, I'm using a word in its definition.
Yes. You think that me saying that somebody is, I'm not including everything as skill, that somehow they're worse. That's not what I'm doing. I just classify.
No, that's not what I said. No, what I simply said is we need. Low talked about this, but like in general, the basketball community has to evolve their dialogue when it comes to these types of conversations. Skill isn't just dribbling and shooting. That's ridiculous to say. The fact that and that's why you're pointing out, like he rarely sees the action on ball. He pitches more off ball, because those guys, they're not just running around doing nothing. They're doing things that they're good at, which they are skilled at, which is something that they worked on throughout their whole career. That's why they would take their roles in the team game. So playing on ball defense is skill. You moving around, coming off a screen is a certain type of skill. Rebounding is a skill. There's multiple skills to the game of basketball besides just dribbling and shooting.
But I can agree with you on that. There's multiple things in the game of basketball than just dribbling, scoring and shooting. I can agree with you on that. That's why when we talk about who's a better player, I include all of those aspects on why he's a better player. When we take the definition of a skill, like who's the more skilled player of all time, we're not even talking about skill. We're just talking about who's the better player or who's the most complete player, because we're including everything and every aspect of life into that one player. So we're not even talking about who's the most skilled player in NBA history. We're just talking about who's the best player in NBA history. That's what you're doing if we're including every single thing. Defense, rebounding, all of that shit. We're just talking about who's the most complete or who's the better player. I'm just trying to separate the two.
Yeah, you separate it by comparing more than two skills. But all right, let's give a different example. You say who's better, Kobe or Jordan?
Jordan.
Why? You said they're the same exact player. Why is he better?
I said that Jordan to me is better because I think he's more dominant than Kobe Bryant. On top of that, he's just as skilled. Maybe Kobe's more skilled, but Michael Jordan is damn near close to it. He's also probably a better defender than Kobe Bryant, if not the same. So I'm giving the edge to Michael Jordan. He's a great playmaker. He's a great playmaker.
So what you just said, you literally just said they have about the same amount of skill, if not Kobe a little more, and they're about the same defensively. And yet Jordan was more dominant.
You know how?
How is that so?
You know how high I rank Kobe?
Yeah, you ranked him top 5.
He's top 3. So I'm splitting hairs.
No, I honestly, yeah, you ranked him top 5, which top 3 is including top 5, but we're just talking about Jordan and Kobe, right? Yeah. So I'm going by what you said. You said they're about the same skill-wise, but Kobe's a little more skilled, and about the same defensively, and yet Jordan was more dominant. Why was Jordan more dominant?
I gave the edge to Michael Jordan as the defender, and then I said that Michael Jordan is more dominant mainly due to his athleticism.
Oh, now we're using athleticism. Okay.
I'm separating. I have to include everything when I'm talking about the better player, but you're talking about more skilled, which is a different argument.
No, that's not what I asked.
What are you asking me then?
No, I asked you who
You
was
asked me
better,
who's better.
and your
You asked
reasons
me
why.
who's better.
Yes.
I told you who's better, and you're telling me. I'm saying who's the better player and my definition. And now, like, what do you even talk about? You saying I'm not being consistent? How? I told you I include everything when I'm talking about better player, and I'm telling you everything that I include. Then you're just saying I'm not being consistent and switching up, which I don't understand how I am. How am I? I said Kobe's more skilled, so what are we doing? Somebody could be a better player and somebody else be more skilled than them.
No, I asked why Jordan's more dominant. You said due to his athleticism. Okay, but they're the
Yes.
same player. All right. Let me switch gears real quick. Mars, why is LeBron a better scorer than KD?
Because the way I judge scoring is I look at how your game translates to the playoffs, and I'm not a huge fan of the versatility argument. I'll use it as a separator, not like the be all end all. And when I look at LeBron at his peak as a scorer, I think his game translated better in the playoffs than KD. I have KD I want to say 5, I think, as a scorer, maybe 4, somewhere like that. I have MJ number 1 because obviously his game translated the best in the playoffs. Some of the highest volume we've ever seen in the playoffs. One of the most efficient players. Then you got LeBron number 2 because after MJ, because to me MJ is clearly number 1 based on that. Then it would be LeBron number 2. Shaq would be number 3 for the same reason. And then Kobe and KD interchange 4 and 5. But if you want to go from a versatility argument, you got KD, no argument, because LeBron's mid-range game is non-existent. But I just don't look at it like that.
You said Shaq for the same reason as Michael Jordan or LeBron?
Well, it's the same reason for everyone, how your game translates to the playoffs from a simple fact of maintaining efficiency and your volume of scoring. KD his efficiency tends to drop in the playoffs. And I look at that and I hold that against him compared to guys like LeBron, where their efficiency doesn't drop as much. Whereas I think we've seen KD's game not translate to that level, which is why I have him slightly lower in the list.
But Mars, I gotta push back against you on that because I do look at scoring similar way that you do. I don't care about a person's bag or number of moves the person got. That's irrelevant to me. It's about putting the ball in the hole. So are you proficient at it or are you efficient at it? KD is not only top 5 in scoring average during his prime and definitely during his peak, but he is arguably the most efficient scorer ever, especially during his peak and when he was, especially between 2016, 2018. So having nearly, I believe one of those years, he was damn near nearly 70% true shooting percentage on average, nearly 30 in the playoffs. So it's more so, like I said, I think KD is better scorer than LeBron, slightly only because he's able to be more proficient at it, produce more points, and he's obviously more efficient than LeBron when you take into account everything.
I agree with what you said based on KD's efficiency. Relative to his era, he's still one of the most efficient players ever. I do have a slight problem because when I look at KD's scoring, I look at what he was in OKC, I look at what he's been in Brooklyn, and then I look at what he was in Golden State. And for me, it's such an outlier in Golden State in the way his efficiency jumped and spiked that I don't want to say I tax him for it, but it's harder for me to say that's his level of a scorer when it's so much of a bigger drop-off outside of that situation. So even though he was one of the most efficient playoff scorers ever, solely looking at Golden State, I'd probably have him top 3 for sure because of how great he was in Golden State in the playoffs. But then when I look at him outside of that, the drop-off is so large to me. I can't have him above guys like LeBron who have stayed. The drop-off hasn't been that large. In Miami, in Cleveland, even in LA, the scoring has remained somewhat of a constant where I can say his game to me translates better to the playoffs, which is why I have a guy like James Harden so low on my list because his game, even though the regular season scoring is all-time great, the playoff translation just isn't there for me to put him above a lot of guys, which is why I have guys like Kawhi Leonard above James Harden as a scorer, which a lot of people tend to disagree with.
I give you that. I give you that.
That's my issue.
I just want to let you know, Dub, those two guys are better scorers than Kobe, and LeBron's a far better player than Kobe. But so since we want to, this is a draft episode anyway / L episode for Dub. There's a part of the draft I think there's a side of the draft that isn't how can I put it, isn't highlighted enough, and that's the GMs. So my question for the rest of the panel is, as I get off, is can you give me the top 5 current GMs in the league, and in your opinion, top 5 most underrated draft picks that you remember?
That's tough.
Wow. I do not know any general managers.
I mean,
you got Masai Ujiri.
I know Bob Myers for sure.
No Bob Myers. You got Masai Ujiri. You got
Brad
Pat Riley.
Stevens is a GM now.
You got Brad Stevens. You got
Yeah, but he doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough.
He's not
minutes in the game.
I have Masai up there for sure. I'd have Bob Myers up there maybe.
Who's the Raptors GM?
Masai.
Okay, I know he's doing great.
I don't want to put Rob Pelinka up there.
You got Daryl Morey.
No.
Why not?
Because if we're talking about great GMs, we're also talking about success, right? And he hasn't had success.
I mean, I'm just looking at how good of a job I think you're doing in your situation. Like, I think Kobe Altman in Cleveland is a good GM since he's taken over.
I mean,
I think he's a very good GM.
Do you have Presti in there too then?
Yeah.
I mean, Sam Presti, I don't know if he's in the top 5 because at some point, getting all those picks, they have to turn into something.
Like, even before then, because he managed to have Russ, KD, Harden, Ibaka, and everything. But what I'm saying is, on the back end of that,
that's the
he's also fucking all that up.
No, that's the owner's fault. Sam Presti wanted to extend. The problem is at that time here, what you're referring to was the Harden release. Sam Presti, as a GM, actually wanted to extend Harden past the cap, but the owner of the OKC didn't want to. He didn't want to do that. That's why they had to release Harden, because they couldn't afford it. But Sam Presti wanted to keep him. So if you're a GM and owner says, no, I'm not going above the cap, you got to listen to the owner.
I didn't know that. That's a fair point.
I didn't know
but
that.
I'd have Bob
Sam Presti can draft his ass off.
Masai Ujiri's up there. Kobe Altman would be up there for me. I guess you could throw Sam Presti up there. And then the rest of the GMs, I'm not sure who I'd really go with, because I'm not putting Rob Pelinka in my top 5. Maybe that's just bias, but I'm just looking at what he's doing right now, and I can't put him up there. So I don't know who the 5th spot would be, but those would be my top 4.
That's not a bad list.
Did I say Pat Riley? Because if I didn't say Pat Riley,
yeah, you didn't say Pat.
Okay, that's the 5th person, Pat Riley.
I don't mind that list.
Who's Minnesota's GM?
I
feel like he's doing a decent job, right?
I don't like the job he's done.
I think
he's doing a good job.
I think
he's
a
good job.
Like Tim Connolly or something like that.
I personally think he need to trade D'Lo and get a better coach, but he's doing actually a good job.
I don't see why. I just don't see why you just give up all of those draft picks for Rudy Gobert when a guy with that much money on the table is like, your team is still not a championship team. If you're gonna waste draft picks like that for a guy that costs that much money, I expect my team to be a championship contending team.
Well, we don't know if they are or not though, because we haven't seen it.
But I mean, draft picks they're not really worth anything either though, because you're not going to win a championship with draft picks.
No, you're not. But I could use that to spend it on someone else better than Rudy Gobert. That's worth $41 million. That's my point.
Yo, Doug, would you feel the same way about that roster if they was in the Miami Heat organization?
Yes.
Same exact roster, but they on the Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley.
Yes. I would see the week and this is
so
why I say, like,
you're giving them top 5 coach, a top 5 GM, and a defense that actually plays zone that actually matches Rudy Gobert's strengths the best. But yeah, you say okay.
No. But the thing is, you have to understand that they got rid of some defensive pieces, and on top of that, having Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns on the floor at the same time is not something that I find sustainable, especially in the playoffs. That's something that teams could really take advantage of. So it's going to be extremely difficult, and I would like to see how that team would adjust to that. If it was a Miami Heat jersey, I'll be saying the same thing. I'm not really high on Miami Heat this year. You want to know why? Because everybody got better, and we didn't make any moves. So I'm not saying Miami Heat's a title contender this year, because I understand what position which my team is in. So it's not a biased thing in which I'm talking about. It's just I'm just speaking facts and how I feel.
I know we trash Rudy quite a bit on here, and I'm definitely a culprit of it. But I mean, he's still a top 3 center in the NBA.
You could be a top 3 center. Don't mean he fixed the weaknesses of the team. Don't mean the team doesn't have a weakness.
But we don't
The team has
know
a
that
glaring
yet.
weakness.
We don't know that yet.
Wait, what's the team's weakness?
If Rudy and Cat is on the floor at the same time with each other,
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust the way that defense would look, especially in the playoffs.
But you don't know what type of defense they're going to run, as well as the matchups,
adjustments
most
they'll
importantly, the adjustments.
Based off what I know so far, because now we're just talking about what we don't know. I'm saying what I know so far, I do not like it. It can change throughout the season if they show me something different. But what I know so far and what they're doing right now, I do not like it.
What do they do?
How many players on the Timberwolves roster now do you consider a below average defender?
Below average?
Yeah.
I think D'Lo. Edwards isn't below average. Cat.
Nope. Cat.
And then whoever else they put at the 2 position.
Do you like Jared Allen and Evan Mobley on the floor at the same time?
I think Evan Mobley could guard. Like, he's not a slack on the perimeter.
So your issue is their perimeter defense.
Yeah.
But the Cavs played Larry Markkinen in that team as well.
There we go.
And they were fine.
But they got Okoro. And then they'll switch out Okoro for Lauri Markkinen and be playing the 3, especially in the playoffs.
I mean, they never made the
playoffs. So there we go.
My point is though.
So you want to see one wing defense because Darius Garland isn't playing defense. Larry Markkinen wasn't playing defense, but you think Isaac Okoro is good enough?
But I'm not saying here. I don't think the Cavs are title contenders. So why are you even bringing up that point, Mars?
No, but
No one said the Wolves title
do you think their defense is a concern?
Oh, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Mm-hmm.
For the postseason, we'll have to see. I think they'll probably have the same issues.
Interesting.
All right, let's Ace Sturdy. Appreciate you tapping in as always.
Y'all have a great day.
You too, bro.
Y'all have a great day, man. Dub, you need a hug or something, bro, or prayer.
Nah, you took L's the whole time you've been here, bro. So I'm gonna just let you.
Oh, word?
Yeah, you
Okay.
have.
You have a good one, man.
All right, bro. Take it easy. Let's end on some super chats. Again, all the super chats today, we're almost at 100. We're at $96 in super chats. We're almost at $100. All the super chats today are going to Jaylen's Spectrum. That is the foundation that Dell started for his son with autism. So thank you again for everyone who has super chatted today, who is donating to the foundation. You guys are donating to a great cause. So it is much appreciated. Sacred Gaming. I'm all for going straight to the league from high school. Let some of these kids get humbled. Bossman Johnson. W getting cooked. KG San. The ability to lay the ball up is a skill, but the ability to grab a rebound isn't. The ability to guard without fouling isn't. This is your worst show, Dub.
It's not. It's not.
Drink more water.
And
Why?
The poll had you getting bodied, son.
Bodied. I even got some votes.
poll?
Why is defense not considered a basketball skill?
Because it's mainly effort, apparently.
All right. David Sanders, I have a question. Have you ever seen LeBron James play off the ball and not be a ball-dominant guy? I feel like he can't do it, in my opinion.
In Miami.
I've seen him do it with Rondo, even for little spurts of when Rondo was on the court with him and the Lakers. So I think it'd be good. It's just not like dominant off the ball.
Yeah, I think because you said I feel like he can't do it. I feel like he could do it, but is that something that you would want, though? That's what I always ask when people talk about Bron playing off ball. I don't know that you'd necessarily want him playing off ball when he is the type of playmaker and just type of player that he is. So
I would like him playing off ball. It's conserve some damn energy.
True. W, collar might be a little too tight or something.
No,
Boss Man Johnson is the man today.
Listen, y'all all been hating, but guess what, bro? I ain't never really say nothing crazy, bro. Y'all just hating, bro. Y'all really just hating, if I'm gonna be real.
Boss Man Johnson
Like, I ain't say
also
nothing
said-
crazy. The thing is, right? The thing is, y'all hear something that y'all don't like, and then once one person says it, the next person's gonna be, oh yeah, you know, I'm definitely gonna ride on that one, you know. Like I said one time, Mars brings up some point, y'all run to that shit like a pimp when he calls his hoe, bro.
Okay, Boss Man Johnson. So passing is not a skill. God, tough. And then Rob turned his picks into a ring. Sharon Rada said R.C. Buford.
Who's he?
The GM.
Yeah, but for who?
About to Google. The
Sacramento.
Spurs. The Spurs.
Was he responsible for the dynasty?
I'd assume so, because the Spurs don't tend to fire people. Let me check.
Bossman Johnson, big fan. Shaq, Mars, and Dell, my faves. Appreciate you, Bossman Johnson. You've been super active today. All those super chats going to a good cause. We have officially crossed the $100 threshold. That's dope. Thank you for everyone who's super chatted today.
Since 02. So he got 4 of the rings.
20 years. That's nice. What's like a typical GM's tenure?
I don't even really keep up with GMs. I only know a couple.
I don't know any GMs.
I didn't even know the Spurs guy.
Yeah.
He's in the back.
I knew the name, but for some reason I couldn't remember the team.
All right, y'all. Again, for everybody who is tuning in after the live show, the link will be everywhere if you want to donate to Jaylen Spectrum. Please, if you have not, like the video. Let's try and push this video out to as many people as possible so that we can spread the word of what Dell's doing with his foundation. So if you have not already liked, make sure you subscribe. Share the episode. Share the video on your social medias with your friends, family, whoever. And as always, we appreciate you guys tuning in, supporting Player's Choice. Anyone final words?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Jay. Don't know his last name, but I ran into my first Player's Choice fan in the real world yesterday. That shit was interesting. But yeah, he gave me a discount and everything, man. So apparently he's the plug in the Tacoma Mall. He was like, yeah, man, in this store and that store, like whatever you need. Or whatever. So it's like, fire, man. I'll be back. So shout out to Jay, man. Good man.
I was in Tacoma yesterday, actually.
And you didn't say what's up? That's crazy.
No, I rolled with some buddies to the Rainiers game, baseball game.
Oh, okay. And
so I wasn't like there for anything outside of that. Otherwise, of course, I would have hit you up. But we got some fire teriyaki. Man, I will say the worse the teriyaki spot looks on the outside, broken building, just trashed on the outside, the better the teriyaki is.
By the field.
Every time, it's probably 10 minutes away from the stadium. Yeah.
Rainiers games are fun.
Yeah, it was fun. That was the first time I've ever been to a Rainiers game, which is crazy. But Aqua Sox have always been closer to me growing up, so I usually go to them. They're like a short A baseball team or something like that. Short A or long A, I forget. Maybe it's long A, but yeah. Yeah, it was fun. It was dope. My buddies train one of the guys who's a pitcher on the Rainiers right now, so went to go. It was hilarious because he told him that he had tickets for him at will call. And when we got to the will call, and the will call line was so long, we waited in it for like 20 minutes. He's giving them their names and then the player's name, and she's like, I don't have any tickets here for you.
Damn, that sucks.
So fire. All right, we got the bots rolling in, so we're going to get out of here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to all the things, man. We appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you on Sunday. Make sure you tune in to Gridiron tonight live. All right, we out.